Granny who?
Granny, you. What's in the sack?
I just bought a few carrots for dinner.
That's a carrot?
Well, they was a little picked over.
Granny, this sack is full of roots. Are you brewing a potion?
Potion? Huh. Why should I be brewing up a potion?
Because it's coming on the time of the year when you get the matchmaking urge.
Matchmaking?
Granny, I know what you're up to, and I'm warning you. Don't go looking for a sweetheart for me.
But I...
And that includes trying to bribe, trick, trap, or conjure one.
Granny, when are you going to stop wasting your time with all this hokum?
Hokum?
Yeah, ain't you been reading the papers? Why, there's an ad in here tells how to get a mate for life. Scientific life. By a computer machine.
Machine? I suppose you put your money in and out pops a wife.
No, Granny. But I'll show you. It's in here every morning.
I ain't got time. The potion's ready.
Here it is. Find the perfect mate for you scientifically and accurately by computer selection. We have a human stockpile of thousands of people, all sizes and types, eager to meet you. Call now. Roto Romance, Inc. Now that's science.
Machines picking out mates. I never heard such craziness.
Granny, not machines. Computers. Why, they's across the tracks and up the road from plain old machines.
Sheep dip. All of it.
But Granny, it's scientific.
I ain't got no time to listen to any more nonsense. Now, if you want to get married up to a bunch of gears and levers, go to it.
All right. Wait and see.
Machines. Wait till my spell-making mixture starts dripping through. That'll get you a wife. All right, let's see them drops of golden potion. Hope it ain't boiled too long. It boiled too long. Well, there goes my last chance to get Jed a spring wedding. Roto Romance. All sizes and types. Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to look over their stock.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Jethro.
Where'd you go? I was getting to like answering all them questions with you.
I had to take a couple of aspirin. You know, you're a very unique case.
Thank you.
Now, let's continue finding out what kind of a person you are.
Why don't we forget about all these questions? I'd just as soon have you for a sweetheart as anyone.
You and I wouldn't compute.
Well, it'd sure be a lot of fun trying.
Yes, well, let's stick to the questionnaire. Now, I need to know your income.
Income? Oh, yeah. They say it's about $7,400.
All right, $7,400 a year.
Oh, no, ma'am. A day.
What?
Yeah, that's the interest on the money. We got $68 million.
I'll put that down. 68 million.
Is something wrong?
No, I'm just writing down the figures.
I know, but you're writing them down on the back of my hand.
Up, down, up, down. 20. Phew. I finally found a way to make exercise enjoyable. There's $100 in each of these sacks.
That's fine, Chief. But I think you should talk to Jethro right away. Roto Romance just called, and he wants to sign up.
What's Roto Romance?
Oh, it's one of those computer dating outfits.
Oh, yes, I remember. See, that would be a good idea for Jethro. In fact, we ought to try to get Ellie interested.
Oh, Chief, you can't.
Why not?
Because love is a delicate spirit that loses its very essence under scrutiny. I can't allow
Wait a
it.
minute. Didn't you try this machine matching once?
Yes, once.
Oh, yes, I remember. When they put your card through the computer, it blew a fuse. Blacked out practically the whole south side of town.
That was a coincidence.
All right. Just get over there and pay Jethro's tuition. See if you can get something for Ellie.
Somebody shot this card all full of holes.
Oh, no. That's Mr. Clampett's data card. And all the information that you've given me is on it.
You mean the answers to them nosy questions you asked me?
That's right. And now I'm going to put this card through our computer, and in a moment, out will come the theoretically perfect woman for Jed Clampett.
This better be on the up and up, or you're going to be flatter than that card and just as full of holes.
Everything's going to be fine.
I was wondering, could I have the afternoon off?
I'm sorry, Miss Oliver. I want you to keep that lady in their company while I run this card through.
Yes, sir. I hope you can wait, Jethro. Hello. I'm Linda Oliver. Mr. Filbert asked me to come in.
You? You're the one? Glamour push like you?
Beg your pardon?
Do you know how to milk a cow, or spin cloth, or plant taters?
Well, no, but I just...
I didn't think so. Computer machines, perfect woman. I could have done better picking names out of a hat.
Well, where is she? I told you to keep her company until I ran Mr. Clampett's card through.
I tried, but she got all excited and ran out.
Oh, no. After I found an absolutely flawless match for him. Never in my career have I seen two people who computed so perfectly. Gladys Peabody and Jed Clampett. Well, I've got to send her over. Why, they're just made for each other. Every punch perfectly aligned. Pardon me, Miss Oliver, but when I see something like this, isn't love just wonderful?
Hey, Uncle Jed, I got a real special date coming up. Can I borrow your courting duds?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Thanks.
Who's a special date?
My bride-to-be, Uncle Jed. The sweetheart of my dreams. The only one for me. The most terrific, wonderful gal that ever drawed a breath.
Who is she?
Well, they ain't told me yet.
Who's they?
A roto-romance. The girl said it'd take the machine a while to compute me up just the right girl.
I know you won't mind my calling you at the last moment when you see who Roto-Romance has for you.
He lives here?
Oh, he's not only rich. He's from your part of the country. He likes the same things that you do. He's tall and he's handsome and, oh, I could just go on and on.
Why don't you?
Oh, I'd rather you be surprised. Your two data cards made such a lovely couple.
Howdy.
Hello. Is Mr. Clampett here?
Well, that's me.
Well, I'm Mr. Filbert of Roto-Romance Incorporated, and this is Miss Gladys Peabody. You do know why we're here.
Oh, yes, sir. I sure do. Just wasn't expecting someone quite so, come on in.
What happened to rich and handsome? All he is tall and country.
Now, remember, appearances are the smallest part of a roto-romance. True love depends on what you have here.
You mean in our heart?
Oh, no, on your punch card.
Ain't you coming in?
Miss Peabody will, but I think I'll be running along now. Things usually work out best when I'm not around. But I hope you'll let me do a paper on you for the Society of Matrimonial Engineers.
I'll fetch your date.
Then you're not the one.
Oh, heck no. All this is Jethro's doing. I'm Jed.
Oh, well, I must have heard the name wrong. What a relief. Oh, I mean,
Jethro's a younger fella, you know.
well, who am I to argue with a computer?
Come on in.
What is this thing called love?
Boy, there's a lady here from the computer place. Says she's your date.
How about that roto-romance? Free delivery.
Oh, I wouldn't be expecting too much. She appears to be...
Uncle Jed, appearances is the smallest part of roto-romance. True love depends on our cards.
Then I'd say you'd been dealt a losing hand.
Jed, if you can't trust a computer, who can you trust? That girl out there, why, she might just as well have been picked out by old Dr. Einstein himself.
Judging by her age, she was.
You wait and see. We're going to be perfect for each other. The computer has never, ever been wrong. Howdy. Jed, what was the last thing I said?
The computer has never, ever been wrong.
Hello, hello? No, she is not here. Hello, hello? Miss Hathaway, where are you? Roto-romance? Oh, what are you doing there, playing chess with a computer?
No, Chief, it's been a real education. Oh, vastly different than the other place I went to. Here they're professional, scientific, intelligent. Now, Chief, I have not only paid Jethro's fees, I have turned in data cards for Ellie Mae and Granny.
Wonderful. Good thinking, Miss Hathaway. Your wife?
Yes, I'm going to try for roto-romance myself. Why not? I told you that was just a coincidence. As a matter of fact, they're putting my data card through the computer right now.
You're improving, Miss Hathaway. This time you've blacked out all of Beverly Hills.
The lights went out.
They're out all over, but we don't need them in here.
I know. It's in there I want to see.
That's where Jethro and his dated.
I want to see who that computer outfit sent over.
Daddy.
I still didn't get a good look at her, but she must be a right proper girl.
What you mean?
She brung her mother with her.
I wonder what happened to them old lights. Of course, with them off, you look real nice. Oh, I didn't mean that the way it sounded.
I just can't get over the computer matching up two people of such different ages.
It seemed kind of queer to me, too. But it must have known what it was doing.
I guess so. And Mr. Filbert did say that our match was programmed in heaven.
Yeah. Shucks.
What are your hobbies, Jethro?
Oh, eating. Eating. Yeah, eating.
Well, one of mine is cooking.
Really?
Yes.
Gladys, this could be the start of something big.
Whoa.
Uncle Jeff, I got to have a talk with you.
All right, boy. Where's Miss Peabody?
She's heading for the kitchen. She thought you'd enjoy meeting Granny.
Well, she thought wrong, because Granny ain't exactly schools out happy about this computer courtship business.
I begin to wonder about that myself.
How come?
Gladys and me may have been programmed in heaven, but down here we ain't having no fun at all.
Maybe you ain't the match you thought you was.
No, there's no doubt about that. But maybe it'd help if you'd have a little talk with her.
Me?
Yeah, get her to liven up a little, so's I can find out some of the other things we got in common. I mean, there's only so much you can say about cooking grits.
Well, anyway, Jethro and I have found one common interest, food. He tells me he likes grits. I do know how to cook them. You do, huh? All right. Let's see you cook up some grits for Jethro. Oh, I don't need a pan that big. That ain't the pan. It's the ladle. That's the cooking pan. And just hope he don't ask for seconds.
Oh, there you are, Miss Peabody. I wonder if I could have a word with you.
Oh, well... Sure, go on. And when you're done, I'll get out my wash tub and we'll practice making gravy.
Miss Peabody, ma'am, seeing that Jethro is my nephew, I figured that you and me ought to get better acquainted.
I'd like that.
I understand you've been clean through the 3rd grade.
Well, to be honest,
Had to drop out of the first.
Me too. Had to go to work on the farm.
Really? That's why I left.
You live on a farm?
Born and raised on one. I miss it.
Same here.
Say, you wouldn't happen to have another piece of wood there.
I think so. You like to whittle?
I love it.
Me too.
Howdy, Miss Oliver.
Hi, Jethro.
Hi.
Well, you seem low.
Oh, that's because I'm sitting down.
Could I sit down, too?
Oh, sure.
You are an awfully attractive man, Jethro.
Yeah, no.
Yes, well, how do you feel about me?
You? Why, I think you're prettier than a mess of hog jowls and sweeter than a tub of sorghum. But I ain't free to say it.
Why not?
I'm done took.
You mean you have a steady girl?
Well, no. She's a little shaky, but she's my intended.
Jethro, and I thought we were so right for each other.
Me too, Linda. But you can't fight science.
What do you mean?
Well, I just got too much brain for my body.
You're kidding.
It's the unhappy truth. Sometimes I wish I wasn't so dad-blamed educated.
But I thought you just graduated from the 6th grade.
No, I've done that 2 years ago.
Oh.
Linda, tell me something. Could you be happy married to an atomic scientist or a nuclear physicist or a space-age engineer?
No. I'd be much happier married to a simple country boy.
Doggone. You'd only got to me 10 years ago.
Jethro, there must be some hope for me.
Wait a minute. Maybe there is. You like country fellas, huh?
Oh, yes.
Regular old hayseeds?
Yes.
That's the kind of fella you want to marry.
Exactly.
Okay, you could be my aunt.
What?
Yeah, you marry my Uncle Jed. At least that way we can kiss on holidays. Uncle Jed, I'd like for you to meet your bride-to-be. Who? Does your getting engaged to her make this a holiday?
Engaged?
I'll take a chance. Uncle Jed, just be glad that you ain't got an enormous brain like mine. It can sure get in the way of a fella's fun.
Why don't you step inside and, let me see if I can sort this boy out. Now, what's going on?
Just the idea I had to get some new blood in the family. Don't tell Gladys.
Well, it's her I have to discuss with you.
How come?
Well, I started out to ask her about you, but something kept getting in the way.
What?
By asking about her.
About her what?
About her everything. What I'm trying to say is, we hit it off just like we knowed each other all our lives.
Uncle Jed, are you telling me you done stole my computer, sweetie? The woman that's my scientific selected perfect match?
Well, stole ain't exactly the word.
Go on, say you done it.
All right? I done it.
Oh, thank you, Uncle Jed. Thank you. Well, seeing as how you stole my bride-to-be, I don't suppose you mind if I stole yours.
Seems only fair.
Oh, thank you, Uncle Jed, thank you. Linda! Hey, Linda!
Come on, Ellie. We'll go upstairs and sew a while before supper.
Well, gee, Granny, I bet you Pa and Jethro's having a lot of fun on their double date with Gladys and Linda.
They will if they can keep straight who's out with who.
Maybe we could get us computer dates.
Don't even talk about it. The only thing you can be sure about with a roto-romance is that you'd be going out with the wrong fella. Come in.
Good evening, Ellie, Granny. Mr. Filbert tells me you've met.
Yeah. Howdy.
Howdy.
How do you do, ladies?
I have a surprise for you. Mr. Filbert has asked me out tonight.
Oh, the machine matched up, huh?
Oh, I didn't even bother to check. Anyone who can find a blown computer fuse like she did, well, that's my kind of girl.
Well, have a good time.
Oh, well, that isn't the surprise. You're going with us. We put cards through for you and Ellie, and the computer came up with 2 wonderful escorts. Come in, Bert, Hugh.
Well, that's nice of you, Miss Jane. But Granny said she would never go out with no computer date.
Hello. Hi.
I've changed my mind, Ellie. Let's go.
Oh, but you said all you could be sure of getting is the wrong fella.
I'll give it one try.
Who's going to tell her?
Well, I hope it's worth ruining my possum pot pie.
Well, Diana Dayton's done got herself engaged.
That ain't even worth the crust. Oh, she.
Oh, I met her that day at that fancy girls' school. Looked right there in Society Sandy's column.
Well, if that girl can get a husband, anybody can. Ugliest thing I ever did see. Got a beard clear down to her chest.
Well, Granny, you're looking at the wrong picture. That's some actor. This is Diana.
The actor's prettier than she is, even with the beard.
Listen to what Society Sandy says about her. This reporter's ears turned shocking pink to hear Divine Diana Dayton announce her engagement just hours after being presented to society at the biggest coming-out party these baby blues have ever seen.
Well, that's fine, honey. Now, you run along. Now, you'll get a husband, don't you worry.
Well, I've worried.
Of course not, honey. No need to be. I'm worrying enough for the both of us.
We're back.
Oh, good. Jethro, here's the phone number of the newspaper. You call up and get the Society Sandy on the phone and ask her what it takes to give a coming-out party.
Yes, ma'am.
A coming-out party.
Or Ellie. This Diana gal snared herself a husband right after she give one. She's got a face of with sour milk.
Better find out what they put in the punch.
I got Society Sandy's secretary on the phone.
We should have thought of it. The reason Ellie ain't got no dates is because nobody in Beverly Hills knows that she's here. She ain't been presented to society.
And that's what a coming-out party's for, huh?
Why, sure. When you want to get rid of an old hound dog, you bring him out where folks can look at him, don't you?
I see your point, but I wouldn't put it just that way.
All I know is that I've tried every love charm in my book to get Ellie Mae a husband. And now we got to give it the old horse auction approach.
I don't know as I'd put it that way neither.
Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. Hand engraved invitation. Everybody in the blue book. Uh-huh. Is that all?
Yes, that's about it. Have fun and lots of luck. Bye. Oh, Society! Sandy! Feast your baby blues on this.
Yeah.
Ellie Mae Clampett is having a coming-out party.
Ellie Mae Clampett. Let me see. Did I meet her at the Von Clippington tea dance?
Oh, Sandy, I'm putting you on. It was a hillbilly. You should have heard the questions. At a coming-out party, does the folks have to stay out, or can they come back inside and set a spell?
Clampett. Clampett. I know I've heard that name before. Get me research on the horn.
Oh,
Next, you got to invite the 400. They's in the blue book.
We'll get one of them books.
Yeah. And then you got to have party victuals fixed by a world's famous chef.
I already figured on doing the cooking.
And then you got to have music for dancing.
Well, I'll get out my guitar and Jethro and his spoon.
Yeah.
This is Ellie's big chance. We got to do everything big. Everything first rate.
You're right. We got to hire us a high-class outfit.
This calls for nothing less than Luther Gooch and his Ozark Jug Band.
You reckon they'd come?
Oh, it's going to cost Jed a purty penny. But as long as we've gone this far, what's another $10 or $20?
Okay, thanks. No, that's all I need to know. Wow. What a scoop. Ellie Mae's father, J.D. Clampett, has 68 million simoleons.
Oh, they're in the simoleon business.
That means money, honey. They're oil rich. Get them on the phone.
It ain't no rumor. It's gonna be the biggest wing-ding you ever seen. We're bringing in 2 bands from out of town, inviting everybody in the Blue Book and then some.
Sounds like you're out to get a name for yourself.
No, we're out to get a name for Ellie. One with a missus in front of it. Kid's spending a fortune. We're gonna make the Diana Dayton's party look like a rained-out well digging.
Zappity-doo, pussycat. My head is spinning.
Then if you don't want to miss the party, you take some whorehound and honey and get right in bed. All right.
Society Sandy sick?
I'll say, light-headed, talking goofy, and has the worst case of gravel throat I ever heard. She sounded for all the world like a man.
Good morning, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, Chief, have you seen the morning paper?
No. Is my picture in it?
It's Society Sandy's column. It says the Clampetts are having a coming-out party for Ellie Mae.
What?
Listen, there's a coming-out party planned for the Clampett Cupcake, Ellie Mae, that should be the Beverly Hills Basherino of the year. Papa Clampett is sparing no expense.
Call that paper. They can't print lies like that. I'll sue.
Well, Society Sandy got the story right from Granny.
Come on, we've got to get up there and stop them.
But Chief, a coming-out party for Ellie Mae isn't such a bad idea.
It is when they spare no expense. Come on. Mr. Clampett, Granny?
This must be their idea of a coming-out party. Oh, Chief, it's worse than I thought.
Yeah, they must have spent 10 or 20 bucks on crepe paper alone.
I was thinking of the Clampetts' feelings.
We'll think of a reason why nobody shows up.
After a mention in Society Sandy's column, every matron in Beverly Hills will give the mink coat off her poodle's back to come.
You think so?
I know so, that they'll be expecting champagne, roses, white tie, and tails. It's an exquisitely beautiful, elegant affair.
Ready for a long time.
I sure hope so. Well, come on, say hello to Granny. She's out in the kitchen whooping up the party victuals.
She's already started cooking.
Has been for 48 hours. She sleeps standing up, leaning against the cupboard with a ladle in her hand.
My goodness.
Yeah, she says she's going to make this a bigger coming-out party than the one Elsie Suggins had back home.
A coming-out party back in the hills?
Well, in a manner of speaking, Elsie gave it for her boy Moonshine when he got out of jail.
Granny, look who's here.
Hello, Granny.
How are you, Granny?
Good to see you. But don't get no ideas you're gonna help out. Everything's been taken care of. The plans has been made, and the cooking is on the way.
Granny, you're dead on your feet. You need some sleep.
Sleep, there'll be plenty of time for that after Ellie's wedding.
Wedding?
Yes. Out here, a coming-out party can get a gal married quicker than a shotgun could back home.
Well, I don't know about that, but I thought it'd be a good way for Ellie to meet some of the young fellas around here. Granny.
Oh, yeah, of course, that's right, of course.
Oh, howdy, Miss Drysdale, Miss Jane. Uncle Jeff, the wind was blowing too much out back, so he's going to finish the invitations in here.
Those are invitations?
Yes, ma'am. For a fancy do like this, we found out they had to be hand engraved.
Come on, Bessie, can't you go no faster?
You lay off her, Jethro. She can print twice as pretty as you can.
Well, she ought to be able to. She takes twice as long.
Bessie helping you?
Well, Jethro said we'd never get done unless she did.
Yeah, Society Sandy said that we should send invites to every one of the 400 in the Blue Book.
Do you have a blue book?
Yeah. This here's one.
Jethro, this is the Beverly Hills telephone directory.
That's right. That's the only one with the blue cover.
Jethro, the blue book is another name for the social register.
Yeah. Boy, if I wasn't so doggone good at ciphering, I'd swear there was more than 400 names in here.
I don't know which will hurt them more. Being laughed at then or being told now they're doing everything wrong.
Well, you've got to tell them.
Absolutely not. I'll resign first.
All right, resign first, then tell them.
I couldn't.
Well, who are we going to find? Who will? Who's cold enough, callous enough, heartless enough to...
Now then...
Margaret! We were just talking about you. Excuse us, Miss Hathaway. How are you, my sweet?
I was just reading Society Sandy's column about Ellie Mae Clampett's coming out party. Everybody in the beauty salon was talking about it.
Oh, yes. Your hair does look gorgeous, dear.
Claude's beauty salon, the Poodle Pampatorium.
Your hair does look gorgeous, Claude.
Oh, stop it, Milton.
He was having a facial.
A facial?
Yes.
Milton, what about Ellie Mae's party? Apparently the cream of Beverly Hills society is going. It's the talk of the town.
Yes, it is a wonderful opportunity for the Clampetts, but I did want to ask you if... Well, they do need social direction, and I know how good you are at giving parties, and... Well, would you help them?
I'd love to.
Did you say you'd love to?
Well, I certainly can't beat them, so I might as well do everything I can to help them, fit in.
Oh, Margaret, that's wonderful.
Have Miss Hathaway tell them that I'll be over right away.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
All right, everybody, Miss Drysdale's here to lend a hand.
How do you do?
Howdy, Miss Drysdale.
Now, let's make her welcome. And pulling together, we'll put on the best coming out party ever.
I'm sure you'll never forget it. Tell me some of the things you're cooking, Granny.
I'm starting with possum sausages. What about it?
Possum sausages? How wonderful.
Huh?
The 400 will love them. What else are you serving?
Filet.
Filet mignon?
Filet gumbo.
Good.
Full of whole crawdads, big chunks of catfish, and mudsucker.
Oh, my taste buds are doing a tango. Society will be mad about this. And what party preparations are these?
We're hand-engraving party invites.
Hand and grab. These are the invitations?
Yeah, we's all doing it. Bessie, too.
You have a monkey writing invitations? I never heard of one so smart.
I don't know why everybody makes such a big fuss over that ape. She's only copying what I put in front of her. You take this away from her, she can barely write her own name.
These are the invitations you're sending out.
Yeah, to everybody in the blue book.
This is the blue book? You only want the elite at your party. Why don't you let me take care of inviting the guests?
Swell. You can take over right there at Porky's Pizza Parlor.
Don't worry. I'll make sure the right people come.
Now, you see, Granny, she's being a help. Why, you might even have a chance to get some sleep before the party. Of course, I know you ain't the least bit sleepy. Are you, Granny? Granny?
Good morning, Miss Hathaway. All ready for the big party tonight?
I'm ready, but are the Clampetts?
I'll check a little later. Margaret's up there right now attending to the final details, and she's personally invited all the right people.
Yes, but Chief, what about the hand-engraved invitations to everybody in the phone book?
Margaret took care of that. She told Jethro she'd bring them back here to mail, and she did, in the incinerator.
Chief, that's so sly and devious.
Yes. Isn't she wonderful?
Good morning, Mr. Clampett. You all ready for our party?
Well, we was, Miss Drysdale, but I'm afraid I got a piece of bad news. This here telegram's from Millard Fribble.
Millard Fribble?
Yeah, you remember him. He's a fellow with Swing-a-Layton musical saw.
Oh, yes. Perfect for a coming-out party. When are they arriving?
Well, that's just it. They ain't.
They ain't? They aren't?
No, you see, they took an offer to play at the Buzz River Hog and Steer Auction.
They're giving up a trip to Beverly Hills for that?
Well, it is a showcase.
I see. But you still got that Luther somebody and his Ozark Jug Band.
Oh, Luther Gooch phoned to cancel, too. It seems they needed some new jugs to toot on. So they had a party, and now they got the jugs, but nobody's sober enough to play them.
What a shame.
Don't worry, we got plenty of records to play on the phonograph. You know, bluegrass, barn dance, things like that.
Well, as long as you have country music, it's a high society favorite.
Well, you got the outside decorated all right?
Oh, you've done a fabulous job. Of course, few more corn shucks would be nice.
Well, that's fine with me, as long as your friends wouldn't feel it was too show-off.
Jed? Oh, Miss Drysdale. I was calling Jed to come see the coming out dress that you bought for Ellie. Come on in.
That sure was nice of you, Miss Drysdale, buying that dress, fixing Ellie's hair and all.
Come on down, Ellie.
Oh, she's just perfect.
She looks just like Gertrude Lovely in the Star-Spangled Vagabond.
Ain't it a little bit flashy?
The way a girl looks at her coming out party is all important. Dictated by tradition.
You want to do everything just right.
And you have. From these decorations to having Bessie the chimp parking the cars.
All right, honey, you can change back now. Now, we just wear our regular Sunday go-to-meeting clothes, huh?
That's right. And Mr. Clampett, the big tie with the flower.
I didn't know you was fond of it.
Oh, yes. Well, everything seems to be in order, so I'll be running along. If you need any more help before the party, just call me.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Drysdale.
Yes, thanks, honey. You've been awful sweet.
It was my pleasure. I just want to be sure that Beverly Hills Society gets the proper impression.
I don't care about that. Just so Ellie gets the proper fella.
I can't get over how she's helped us with this coming out party.
Sweet as sugar. Ain't tried to change one thing that we done. And do you know, it was her suggested bobbing for apples and having a sack race.
Just goes to show you that when it comes to having a good time, folks is folks. Either high society or a bunch of stump jumpers like us. Wonder who that is.
She double-crossed me. She hasn't changed a thing.
Oh, hi, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane.
Just couldn't wait till tonight, huh?
Really looks nice, don't it? Well, your wife thought it needed a few more corn shucks around.
She's been nice as pie to us. Even bought Ellie a beautiful red dress and
Red.
all covered with fringe and spangles and such. Says all coming out gals wears them.
Of course, everybody else just wears Sunday go to meet.
Don't worry about splashing gopher gravy on your good clothes. We've given everybody their own bib.
Drive back to the office. Miss Hathaway.
But Chief,
Drive.
Excitement just too much for him, huh?
yes, that's it.
Well, see you tonight.
Come early, stay late.
Bye.
Just wait till I get my hands on Margaret. Look at this guest list. Everybody from Society Sandy to Phil the dry cleaner.
Prince Filippo to Ragatini.
Either way, they're all going to think the Clappers are a bunch of hicks. Why, these social lions will eat them alive.
Well, it looks as though your wife has won. The party's tonight.
We've got to do something. Ellie Mae's coming out will look like a masquerade ball.
Chief, that's it. Give me the guest list and let's start phoning.
What are you talking about?
A society first. A masquerade coming out party.
All right, but it better work, or there's going to be a giant going-away party. For the Clampets' money, my wife, and you.
Well, Chief, it worked. Society's having a wonderful masquerade party.
Yes. But I hope nobody tells Mr. Clampett he won first prize for the best costume.
Never find out what we did. By the way, where's your wife?
At home, she couldn't make it.
Oh, really? What happened?
I locked her in the closet.
Well, Granny, they all seem to be having a high old time. Mr. Drysdale says the cream of society is here.
Well, if this is the cream, I'd hate to see the skim milk. Look at them. They're all a bunch of goofs.
You seem to dress them mighty peculiar, don't they?
Peculiar. Did you see that goomer wearing a sheet and a bunch of leaves in his hair?
Leave. I thought that was a bird's nest. It ain't so much they're dressing funny, but have you talked to any of them? I asked that fella dancing with Ellie who he was, and he said Napoleon.
You can't blame them for acting strange, as sick as they are.
What you mean?
Miss Drysdale said everyone on the guest list was a blue blood.
Mr. Travis, Granny, I want you to meet Society Sandy.
Well, howdy there.
How's your sore throat, honey?
I beg your pardon?
Just can't shake it, huh?
You pussycats have really done it. You know, these Tootsies have danced at a lot of coming out parties, but this one beats them all. It's the most original and inventive I've ever seen.
Well, thank you, but by rights, the credit belongs to you and our dear friend, Miss Drysdale.
Well, it's a great party, and you have a lovely daughter. And I hope I see a lot of you in the future.
Well, Mr. Lady Killer, you sure set Miss Society Sandy on her ear.
What you talking about?
Well, she seemed quite anxious to get to know you better. I mean, she ain't gonna have that sore throat forever.
Forget it, Granny. It don't bother me that she ain't too pretty in the face and dresses funny and totes a stick with a ribbon on it. But I just don't think I could warm up to a woman that smokes a cigar.
Where's Jethro? I got taters to be dug and he's nowhere in sight.
I'm digging for you, Granny. The boy's out looking for work.
He don't have to look for it. I got plenty right here.
But he's looking for the kind of work that'll pay him some money.
What does he need with money? You give him 50 cents a week.
Well, he claims that it takes more than that to court a Beverly Hills girl in first-class style. He wants a job where he can use his education.
That's what's ruined him. All that high education. He thinks he's too good to do hand labor. Wants to be a white-collar man.
Granny, the way Jethro spills food, he ain't never going to be a white-collar man.
Well, I still say there ain't nobody needs that much education.
Well, considering he wants to be an atomic scientist or a brain surgeon, I don't think it's too much to graduate 6th grade.
Well, I don't know about atomic scientists, but speaking as a doctor, I can tell you that it don't take no 6 years of schooling to be a brain surgeon.
It'll be off-season for them anyway. Jethro looked all through his help wanted ads, and there wasn't one calling for a brain surgeon. Or for atomic scientists either, come to think of it.
Well, then, what kind of work is he looking for?
Well, Jethro said just to pick up some pocket money, he was going to run by the movie studio and see if Mr. Chapman had any odd jobs for him, like producing a picture.
Well, no, Jethro. I'm afraid I don't have any openings right now for a producer.
I'd be awful good, Mr. Chapman.
Oh, you're perfectly qualified, Jethro. You've got a 6th grade education, and your uncle owns the studio.
Just that I don't need a producer. You don't have to be producing, Mr. Chapman. I'll do anything for some quick money. How about directing or starring?
You are desperate for work.
Yeah, but that don't mean I'll work cheap. You gotta beat what I get at home. 50 cents a week?
You got yourself priced right.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chapman, but the guard says there's an uncontrollable mob of girls at the gate. They demand to see El Magnifico.
Who?
The great lover.
How'd they know I was here?
This is El Magnifico, Jethro. He's a famous matador. We're making a movie with him. Tell Ralph to put on an extra guard.
Yes, sir.
This guy's a great lover?
That's right.
Well, heck, fire. He ain't even out of knee breeches.
That's what a matador wears when he fights bulls, Jethro.
Fights bulls?
Yes, that's his profession. He's a bullfighter.
Boy, he's harder up for a job than me.
Don't kid yourself. Matadors are not only popular with girls, they make a great deal of money.
Fighting bulls?
Mr. Chapman, the girls caught sight of El Magnifico and they've broken through the gate.
What?
Yes.
Can we get us a bull.
Bull? What for?
I'm gonna fight the booger.
Fight him?
Yeah. That's gonna be my life's calling. Fighting bulls and beating off women.
Whatever it was that mashed your head out of shape didn't do your brain no good neither.
This ain't my hat. This belongs to a feller by the name of El Magnifico. He's been fighting bulls for 10 years.
Well, if you don't like him, why don't he stay out of the pasture?
He don't fight him for spite. He fights him for money.
He gets paid?
Yeah, thousands of dollars.
For fighting bulls?
Yeah.
Boy, somebody's been greening you.
Uncle Jeff, it's the truth.
Well, if it ain't the educated white-collar worker. Did you get a job producing movies?
No, ma'am, Granny. I done decided on a new life's calling. That is, if Uncle Jed will give me the money to buy a bull.
Now,
I ain't gonna raise cattle.
well, what you want with a bull?
Don't ask, Granny, if this get you riled.
Why should I get riled? A honest answer turneth away wrath. Now, tell your granny what you gonna do with the bull.
I'm gonna fight him.
Don't you give me any smart mouth!
Granny, I ain't giving you no smart mouth. Bullfighters makes lots of money. And girls just goes crazy for them.
I warn you! Well, where'd you get a story like that?
Well, I figure somebody's just trying to unload a bad bull on a green boy.
I tell you, I seen it with my own eyes. There was a skinny little fella wearing a sissy suit with knee breeches. And a whole bunch of pretty girls throwed themselves on him like ducks on a June bug.
How come?
'Cause he fights bulls.
Are you gonna give me a straight answer?
Is that the only reason?
Well, it had to be. I was standing right there and they grabbed him.
An uncommon handsome man.
Compared to me.
Yeah, well, I reckon there's lots of things in this world we don't understand.
I don't care nothing about understanding it. I just want to get in on it. How about it, Uncle Jed? Can I get a bull and go to fighting?
You can get a tater fork and go to digging.
Granny, I dug them taters. Here, boy, take these out in the kitchen.
The women don't chase tater toters.
You got one chasing you. Where did Jethro get this hat?
Claims it belongs to that bullfighter.
His head must have run mostly to ears.
Granny, I got an idea. Let's get us a bull.
What?
Now, hear me out. We've been wanting to have a good old-fashioned barbecue.
But Jethro will go to fighting it.
Not for long. Appears to me there ain't nothing a man can get his fill up faster than scrapping with a bull.
Afraid he'll get hurt?
Ah, a good stout bull can take care of himself.
There's one thing Jethro would like better than fighting it. It'd be eating it.
This way he can do both.
I'll put the taters in the bin for you, Granny.
Thank you, boy. And now I got good news for you. We's gonna get a bull.
Hot dog! I'm going right out and buy me a big club.
Now, hold on, boy. You ain't gonna tie into that critter with a club.
Heck no! That's to beat off the women.
Melvin, be reasonable. I know we're a little over budget.
You're $100,000 over budget.
But we're making the greatest bullfight picture of all time. Sand and blood.
I don't mind the sand, but stop spending my blood.
This picture will thrill millions of aficionados like myself. It will be the movie debut of El Magnifico.
El baloney. Now, I want this picture wrapped up. Now, you tell him to throw his bull and get back to Spain.
But you just don't say that to the world's greatest matador.
I'll say it to him. Now, you get that steer jockey in here. Get going, El Scrammo.
We will not stand here and allow you to insult one of the greatest toreros to ever enter the bull ring.
Yes, and we're putting him on film.
We're putting him on a boat.
Melvin, just the women who come to see this picture will make it a success.
That's true. El Magnifico is one of the world's most eligible bachelors.
Yes, he'll make the 100,000 back for you.
That clown wouldn't know what 100,000 looks like.
He gets 100,000 for one bullfight.
What?
That clown is worth $5 million.
How dare you call him a clown? We can't let this man go back to Spain. He must stay here with his money.
His money is in Spain.
No, I'll take care of that.
He can't stay here. He's not an American citizen.
But he will be if he marries an American girl. And I know just the girl. The perfect mate for El Magnifico.
Oh, Chief, you really think so?
Yes, Ellie Mae Clampett.
Ellie Mae. But they have nothing in common.
You call a joint savings account of $20 million nothing? Who has insulted me? What idiota dares to call El Magnifico steer jockey? Idiota! You, senor! Forgive him, Your Majesty. He doesn't realize that bullfighting is an art form, a ritual. A drama that has been woven into the very fabric of Spanish history for 1,000 years. A drama that has produced its greatest performer in the person of El Magnifico.
Gracias. Ramon Miguel de Santoya y Manzanares at your service.
El Milberno Tabasco de Drysdale at yours.
Hey, y'all come out and see my bull.
You get a good one, Jethro?
I'll say, got horns clean out to here, and strong as a bull.
I figured.
Well, you can tell by looking at him, he's a real scrapper.
We'll be out directly.
Wash up and have some victuals.
Oh, I dash him, Granny. Ellie's out there, and that rascal's liable to throw her clean over the house. Hey, Ellie, get away from that bull!
I miss you, Jethro. I'm gonna call him Marvin.
This thing ain't no pet.
Well, what you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna fight him.
Well, what for?
For fame, fortune, and female. There's something about seeing a man fight a bull that just drives women wild.
How come?
I don't know. But you watch and see if it stirs you up when I go to tussling with him.
Okay.
Come on, bull. Let's mix it up. Come on. I dare you. Cross over that line. Well, come on. I'm spotting you, 800 pounds. How's that, Ellie?
Well, I'm commencing to get stirred up.
Hot dog. Now I'll show you my step over toe hold.
Fighting it, Jeff?
I don't know if he's fighting it or trying to shoe it.
Get!
I'm commencing to get real stirred up.
I see better wrestling than a sheep shearing.
What's the bull doing?
He's looking at Jethro, kind of puzzled.
What's Jethro doing?
I think that's what the bull's trying to figure out. Well, if that's all there is to bullfighting, I don't think it's going to catch on.
What a nonsense. Jethro will just get that critter so muscle-bound he'll be too stringy to barbecue. I'll see who's at the door, Jed.
Okay, Granny, you ain't likely to miss nothing.
All right, Ellie. Get ready to be stirred to a peak of frenzy. I'm going to jump on this rascal and throw him with a combination horn lock and stomach scissors.
Oh, Jethro!
There's a crowd pleaser. Looks like the bull's getting the hang of the fighting even if you ain't.
The bull didn't do this. Ellie did.
Well, I was fixing to hurt Marvin.
Yeah, she's going to make a pet out of my fighting bull and ruin my career. I'm on the way to fame, fortune, and females. Ellie, leave him be! She's going to have him fetching sticks.
Don't knock it, boy. It's better than what you had him doing.
What happened?
Oh, nothing. Ellie just threw Jethro through the door.
Oh, boy, is he hurt?
Mr. Clampett, Granny, there couldn't be a better time to tell you my good news. I have a man for Ellie.
Praise be. Fetch him in. We'll have a wedding barbecue.
Oh, now, hold on. We ought to know something about the fella.
Of course. Well, he's a bachelor.
That's enough. Fetch him in.
I couldn't do that anyway. You see, Granny, he's in a movie at Mr. Clampett's studio.
Hear that, Jed? He's a movie star.
Well, not yet. He's actually a matador. He's making sand and blood.
I don't care if he's just making room and board. Ellie May!
Tell me some more about this fella, Mr. Drysdale. You know what kind of a man he is?
To the penny.
What I mean is he a nice fella? Nice looking?
Mr. Clampett, wherever this man goes...
Great, good-looking feet.
I have already in jiffy, Mr. Drysdale.
Well, I'll go along and help them pick out just the right dress for this fellow. He's something special.
Danged if he ain't. Pretty feet, and where's the dress?
Yeah, well, Jack, Miss Jane straightened me out on that bullfighting business.
She did, huh?
Yeah, it turns out you don't hand wrestle him at all.
Just kind of wasting your time, huh?
Yeah, but I know what to do now.
What's the tablecloth for?
For the bull.
Wait a minute, boy. Let your granny cook him first.
say his name was Ray Moen? I'll bake a couple of possums, and I'll puree some crow gizzards.
Well, maybe he'll want to take Ellie to a Spanish restaurant. You see, they like their food highly flavored.
Oh. Well, if he likes his riddles with a high flavor, I'll chicken fry a polecat, and I'll open up some goat cheese.
We'll let you know, Granny.
Goodbye, and be a good girl, Ellie.
I will.
Ha-ha! Ho! Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Ho! There, see? That's how you're supposed to do it.
I'm afraid it's hopeless, Jethro. Marvin is simply not a fighting bull.
Well, I sure would like to see the kind old Magnifico fights.
Let's go over to the studio. They're filming a corrida this afternoon.
Hot dog! I'll get my coat.
Excuse me, Miss Jane, but you hadn't out to wave nothing red in front of a bull?
Oh, but that's a... Thank you.
Say, have you seen this fella that Mr. Drysdale's got for Ellie?
Oh, indeed I have. What a beautiful man.
Beautiful?
From his pink stockings right up to his pigtail.
Let's go, Miss Jane. See you later, Uncle Jed.
Bye.
Pink stockings and pigtail. And after Ellie waited so long for a man.
Ah, Ramon, here is your lovely surprise, just as I promised. Senorita Ellie Mae Clampett, may I present El Magnifico.
Howdy.
Qué hermosa. Es usted infinitamente más linda de lo que me habían hecho creer. Por favor, acuda a la filmación de la corrida y dedicaré el toro a usted.
Well, what'd he say?
Howdy.
I'm sorry to cut this short, but the Plaza de Toros said it's clear over on the back lot. We've got 5,000 extras waiting.
Please, come and sit in the front row, and I will cut off an ear for you.
Oh, don't do that. You only got 2.
What does she mean by that?
Howdy. Well, you run along. We'll be there. Hasta luego. Well, Ellie Mae, how did you like him?
Well, he's awful pretty. But back home, fellas ain't marrying age 2 days in long pants.
Oh, he's old enough. He'll make a great husband.
Well, I wouldn't mind cooking for him. I sure would hate to have to wash and iron that, too.
El Magnifico is beginning his cape work.
Pretty near got him. Why don't he throw away that old red overcoat and lay down like everybody's telling him? He's gonna get hurt.
No, he's not, Ellie. He's just teasing the bull.
Teasing it?
Yes, to tire it out.
Hey, you stop teasing that bull! Stop it or I ain't gonna marry you!
Ellie, don't distract him. The bull might get him.
Done it again!
No, Ellie, no! Ellie, no!
Bull! I didn't even hear him coming.
It wasn't the bull, it was me. And what's more, I ain't gonna marry you.
Mira, yo he conocido americanas locas, pero a usted no le gana a nadie.
And you ain't gonna make up to me with no howdy.
Hey, Mr. Drysdale, what happened?
Your cousin Ellie just threw El Magnifico out of... Where did you get that?
Over the wardrobe. Miss Jane done learned me to be a bullfighter. Boy, am I gonna get the women now.
Jethro, you don't know how...
Hey, there's a bull that ain't busy.
Yes, but you don't want to... Jethro! Jethro! Jethro, get out of there!
Hi, Bull! It's me, El Jethro. You and me's gonna fight. Of course, it ain't really fighting. I'm just gonna wave this fancy tablecloth and duck aside when you run at me. be scared. He ain't gonna hurt you.
Jethro, run!
I ain't supposed to run. He is. Come on, Bull. Hey, watch them horns. I don't want you ripping my fancy britches. Oh! You stepped on my toe. This time I'll get my feet out of your way. There. Now, come on. Let's make it look good so as I can get me some women. Hey, look. Nobody likes a smart aleck bull. You do that again, I'm gonna throw away that tablecloth and clamp a body scissors on you.
Jethro, you'll be torn to pieces!
Yeah, I know. Them women's gonna mob me. Hey, wait a minute. Are you ready yet? This gate is stupid bully bot fair. Tell me what to do.
Mr. Jethro, you shouldn't have gone in there. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. But that bull sure needs some lessons.
What you wearing, boy?
This here is what you call a suit of lights.
Well, let's go plug it in and see how it looks.
It ain't electric, Uncle Jed. This here is what you wear fighting bulls.
You got kind of stoved up. Bunch of girls fling themselves at you?
No, but that bull sure did. I think that's why they call it a suit of lights. When that bull hits you, your light's 40 foot away.
I take it you ain't going to make it your life's calling.
I'll say I ain't. I'm going back to being a brain surgeon.
How come you kept the suit?
I'm going to be working mostly around bull rings.
Not a call for a brain surgeon in there?
There's got to be, Uncle Jed. Anybody that fights bulls for a living needs a lot of work on his brain.
Gypsies. Sid! Quick! Gypsies! Hide the yelling! Sid! Sid!
What's the matter, Granny? What's all the yelling about?
Gypsies! Right outside. They've come to steal Jethro.
Jethro?
They always steal boy babies.
Granny, that's a 230-pound baby you're talking about.
They can do it. They got a big wagon.
What's all hollering?
Jethro, quick. Get upstairs and hide under the bed.
What's the matter?
So the gypsies won't steal you.
Gypsies?
Oh, you're my only baby boy, and I love you.
Hey, Uncle Jed, what's she talking about?
Get upstairs, you 230-pound numbskull. Don't open it, Sid. Just shoot them through the door.
Shoot him?
Maybe they'll take the hint and go away.
I ain't turning nobody away from my door without I know what they want.
I told you what they want. Besides, they'll steal all our pigs and our chickens.
There ain't a pig or a chicken on this place.
They done cleaned us out.
Howdy, ma'am.
Greetings. I am Narda, Queen of Gypsies.
We ain't got no boy babies.
This is my son Yerko.
Howdy.
Where did you steal him?
That'll do now. What can I do for you, ma'am?
For small sum of $1, I tell your fortune. Reveal the future.
Oh, no thanks.
50 cents?
What ain't the money? You can have that.
You don't want to see the future?
Well, I believe I'd rather be surprised like everybody else. Here's your dollar, though.
Don't give it to her, Jed. She's a faker. She can't tell nobody's fortune.
If lady let me see her palm, I reveal her future.
No. You want to steal my rings.
You ain't wearing no ring.
Please?
How many fingers I got, Jed?
5?
You see that I get 5 back.
Nice looking team of horses.
Thank you.
I see.
What do you see?
Nothing. Narda can tell no more.
Why? What's the matter?
Don't ask. Come, Yerko.
But you got $1 to tell me the future.
Here, take it back. Quickly, Yerko. We must leave before it happens.
Before what happens? Tell me. I'll give you $5.
Now.
about a baby boy. A big rascal, 230 pounders. What do you say to that?
I say only this. Heed the gypsy's warning. Leave this place before it is too late. Come here.
Did you hear what she said?
Yeah, I sure am glad you're too smart to believe in that nonsense.
20, 30, 40. Now, you sure they'll leave?
I depend on it.
Oh, I'm so happy. For 5 years, I've been trying to rid the neighborhood of that blight. Now, at last, my dream has come true.
The money, please.
Oh, yes. Where was I?
20.
30, 40, 50, 60. What if they decide not to move?
You have but to call on us at tea room. Yerko and I will pay them another visit.
Of course, that will cost you another $100.
Oh, well, I hope that won't be necessary. Let's see, where was I?
40.
50, 60. That's funny. I thought I had 100.
Rich lady must not try to cheat poor gypsies.
Oh, I wouldn't. My goodness, I'd pay any price to get rid of those dreadful hillbillies. Now, where was I?
50.
70, 90, 100. There you are.
Blessings of gypsies upon you.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, not a word of this to my husband. He panics at the thought of losing that 60 million. Well, toodaloo, or zigoiner, or whatever you gypsies say.
Gypsies say, what 60 million?
The Clampetts have $60 million in my husband's bank.
This you not tell poor gypsies?
Well, what difference could it make?
Very rich people require very special curse.
Here. I suppose that costs extra. Is a curse deductible?
This curse is complimentary to build goodwill.
How wonderful. Well, happy hexing.
Mother, she must have had another $40.
Granny must have 15 million.
Yes, but how do we get it?
Very simple, my son. I will read her palm again. I will see a dark, handsome man. He will marry her.
Marry Granny? A dark, handsome man?
So you're not handsome.
Me? No, wait a minute, Mother, listen.
I'm sorry, Chief, but Granny just called with an impossible request, and I thought I'd better...
Miss Hathaway, when a woman has $15 million in my bank, no request is impossible.
But she wants to take the 15 million out of your bank.
Impossible.
I thought you'd feel that way. She'd like it in gunny sacks out in front so she can pick it up on her way back to the hills.
Again, she's going home. Oh, what is it this time?
Well, it seems a couple of gypsies told her there was a curse on the mansion.
Oh, only a nut would believe gypsies.
Your wife believed them?
I just said that. Well, what two gypsies can do, two more gypsies can undo.
Oh, Chief, where are you going to find 2 more gypsies in Beverly Hills?
Let's go, Natasha.
Back upstairs for another load, young'uns. We gotta get out of this house before something happens.
What is it that's going to happen, Granny?
Don't ask, child.
Well, why not?
'Cause I don't know.
I told you we ain't gonna let them gypsies scare us out of our house.
But, Jed, she called every turn.
She might have heard it coming through bug tussle. Now, you young'uns, put all that stuff back upstairs.
Jed, she's seen doom right here in my hand. And I can see it now, too. Look, cuts right across my heart line.
You done that cleaning catfish with a dull knife.
Is this house doomed or ain't it? Because I ain't gonna do no more toting.
Ah, there's doom at the door. Run outside, young'uns, and save yourself. No, not that way. You're liable to hit it head on.
Granny, stop spooking the boy. He's liable to run right through a wall. Well, it's the gypsy lady again.
She's come back for my baby.
You got a baby, Granny?
Hush up and duck.
I have good news. There is no curse on this house. Gypsy make mistake reading palm.
Oh, don't blame yourself, ma'am. Granny's got a catfish scar.
If you will let me see your hand again.
Run, Jethro! Get away from me, Gypsy. You're in league with the devil. Forces of evil. Don't you touch me, Jed! Get a gun and shoot her!
This flat line. I see love, romance. I see dark, handsome stranger coming into your life.
You do? Who is he? Where's he from and when's he coming?
Before I can tell you more, I must consult cards, read tea leaves, brew special potion. Could my son and I make camp here overnight?
Why, sure. Can't we, Jed?
Granny, I thought you was scared of gypsies.
Whatever give you that notion? Why, some of my best friends are gypsies. Like my friend Narda here. She's a queen.
Well, we'd be pleasure to have you, ma'am, but no call for you to camp out. We got plenty of spare bedroom.
Oh, thank you.
Jed, gypsies is outdoor people. To put a gypsy in a house is like putting a bird in a cage.
Well, we would not mind.
Oh, now you're just trying to be nice. We're not going to force our ways on you.
Well, Granny, it gets pretty cold out there night.
But, Jed, that's what gypsies like, to sleep on the frost-bit ground. Why, to put a gypsy in a warm bed, why, they's miserable. He means well. He just don't know your ways like I do.
Well, just this once we could sleep in...
Now, Narda, I know that you draw a heap of power from sleeping out under the moon. And I want you at your peak when you conjure up my dark, handsome fella. Now, you take your wagon and go out by the cement pond and camp there. I'll see you later.
Granny, it's going to get pretty nippy out there tonight.
Jed, you don't know these people like I do. A frostbit gypsy is a happy gypsy.
Drive around back and make camp for the night.
Make camp? There must be at least a dozen bedrooms in this mansion.
We are outdoor people.
Not me. I'm a tea-room gypsy.
Do as I say and you will be a rich gypsy.
Has my dark, handsome stranger come yet, Jed?
Not yet.
Well, I'm ready for him. Skillet, skillet in my hand, who's the fairest in the land? You little doll.
Granny, I hope you ain't setting too much store by what that gypsy told you. Dark, handsome men don't grow on bushes.
Jed, I know my gypsies, why they got powers that even you and me can't understand. If Narda says a man is coming, he's a-coming.
I hope so.
She'll throw a spell on him that where he can't even help himself.
I have brewed magic tea. Come drink.
Hot diggity dog. There. Now, where's my fella?
I find him in tea leaves.
You should have told me. I swallowed half of him.
It's all right. I see him.
What does he look like?
Very dark, very handsome, has mustache. He comes on wings of song. Any moment now...
Stop that racket! I can't hear what the gypsy's saying. Oh, it's you, Jerko.
Jerko.
Sorry I yelled at you. Go ahead and play. I like fiddle music.
Very good for romance.
Nothing better. How's that for service, Jed? She's not only conjuring me up a fella, but she furnished a fiddle player to put him in the mood when he gets here.
Uh-huh.
You done your part, Narda. Now it's up to me and Yurko.
The gypsy's blessing upon you. And on you, my son.
That's the only tune you know how to play.
Oh, no. Anything you want.
Well, how about something popular like 10-cent cotton, 40-cent meat?
I don't believe I know that one.
How about the letter edged in black? That's pretty on the fiddle. Or the coffin and the baggage coach you had?
Well, they ain't exactly courting tunes, Jed. There he is. How do I look, Jed?
Why, Granny, you want me to go let him in?
No, I'll go. You stay here and try and learn that goomer some courting music.
You know the Crawdad song?
I don't think so.
Well, you'll catch on in a hurry. It goes like this. You get a line and I'll get a pole, honey. You get a line and I'll get a pole, babe. You get a line and I'll get a pole. We'll go down to the crawdad hole. Honey, baby, mine. Now you get it.
Are you sure gypsy men wear earrings? I feel like a darn fool.
You look fine, Chief. Very handsome.
I'm coming, lover. Ooh, dark and handsome with a mustache. Ooh, maybe it's Dustin Farnham or Bull Montana. It's a gypsy.
Yes, I am Zarko, king of gypsy.
I'm sorry. Spell or no spell, I can't marry you.
What?
I'm too old for an outdoor honeymoon. A frostbit granny is a miserable granny. Now, you stay in here. I'll go get Narda to take the curse off you, Zarko.
But we only want to tell you there is no gypsy curse on this house.
The heck there ain't. The place is crawling with gypsies.
Yeah, there are others.
Others? You can't swing a cat without hitting a gypsy.
Hey, I'll go with you.
No. You stay here. The less you see of me, the easier it's going to be for you to get over that mad passion for me.
Come on, let's find those gypsies and expose them.
Don't forget, Chief. Those gypsies can expose us.
Oh, there you are. Listen to this. You get the line and I get the pole, or Chichornia. You get the line and I get the pole, or Chistrasnia.
Yeah, that's fine.
Will you marry me?
Marry you? I just turned down your king.
Jet, the gypsy woman just looked into my future.
Mine too.
Yeah, I'm gonna meet a dark, handsome stranger.
Me too.
Come on, Ellie.
Hold on, youngins. Let's see how Granny made out first. Well, Granny, your fella show up?
Yeah. In fact, there's two fellas wanting to marry me.
Looks like Narda delivers the goods.
Yeah. She's long on volume, but a mite short on variety.
What you mean?
They's both gypsies. And here's that's all she can conjure.
You hear that, youngin?
I don't care. Gypsy gals is pretty.
And Gypsy fellas is handsome.
Come on, Ellie.
Gypsy living is all right for young'uns, but not for me. Betwixt the froze ground and them stole, squalling babies, I never would get any sleep. Narda!
Yerko, my son, where are you going?
Back to the tea room. These people are Meshuggah.
$60 million, they can be Meshuggah.
But I proposed to Granny, and she turned me down.
There are 3 others in the family. Between us, we will unload a dark, handsome stranger on one of them. Who are you?
I am Zarko.
I am daughter of Zarko. I am Yerko.
I am mother of Yerko.
I am Jethro.
I am cousin of Jethro.
Hey, you must be that gypsy gal I was supposed to meet.
But of course.
And you must be my gypsy fella.
What else?
Come on, let's get acquainted.
What tribe you from, Gypsy?
What tribe you from?
I am Queen of Zagrax.
I am king of greenbacks.
You tell fortune?
Yes, and I see jail in your future. Now hit the Romney Trail before I call the bunco squad.
Wait, don't spoil good thing. There's plenty here for all gypsies. Very rich hillbillies.
Those are my very rich hillbillies.
What is the meaning of this? I paid you gypsies $100 to frighten the Clampetts back to the hills.
You did?
You know very well I did. Please don't take offense, but you bear a striking resemblance to my husband.
Striking is exactly the right word. Oh, wait till I get you home.
Never!
Yeah. Now hand over that $100.
Stay away. I put curse on you.
I'm married to her, and you're gonna put a curse on me? Put it there.
I see money in your hand.
Yes, but I don't, so hand it over.
I see much money. Killing in stock market.
Oh, I don't buy that gypsy jazz. I'm a practical, down-to-earth banker. So put the $100 in that hand.
Melvin!
And this hand I'm saving for you right over my knee when I get to you home.
Melvin, darling, please don't be angry. I'm sorry for what I did. I'll be a good wife from now on.
It won't do any good to plead.
I'll be a loving wife. I'll shower you with hugs and kisses.
And threats won't work either. How big a killing in the stock market?
Very, very big.
And what stock shall I buy?
It's cloudy. For cash clouds might lift.
Uh-huh. How much?
For fellow gypsy could have at cost $90.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
Daddykins!
Margaret, please.
But Babykins loves Daddykins!
And Daddykins loves a Moneykins. Now, where were we?
20.
40, 50.
Wadykins!
Margaret!
You're my dark, handsome gypsy sweetheart. No, no, break the spell on Zarko. He done grabbed himself a married woman. Think of your husband, Miss Drysdale. Let go. Granny. Besides, I already turned him down. You're getting him on the rebound. You don't want a second-hand gypsy. But Granny, listen. Now you listen. Even if you were free to marry him, you ain't no more up to an outdoor honeymoon than I am.
Now, where was I?
40.
All right. 50, 60. There wasn't $100 there. My wife cheated you.
Happens to poor gypsies every day.
Did you call off the spell?
Not yet.
It must have been a humdinger to give him a hankering for that old Betty.
True.
I want to see how you do it. What's going on in there?
Oh, come on in, join us.
Yeah, Granny, my gypsy fella plays a real good fiddle.
And my gypsy gal dances up a storm.
Did you square dance, Gypsy?
No.
Oh, my father, Joe, he do big hot-foot Hungarian hold-down.
Well, let's go. And remember, the spell is still on you. Just dancing, no sparking.
Here goes.
I have always been struck by the way this particular stretch of the Beverly Hillbillies opens not with a grand establishing shot or a loud gag but with something quieter and more intimate. The simple, almost domestic suspicion that Granny is up to her old tricks again. The first time I watched these scenes years ago, I remember leaning forward as if the television itself might confide in me. There is something in the exchange between Jethro and Granny that feels less like scripted comedy and more like the kind of conversation one overhears in a real kitchen on a late afternoon when the light is soft and the air carries the faint scent of something simmering. "What's in the sack?" Jethro asks, and Granny answers with that perfect blend of innocence and evasion. "I just bought a few carrots for dinner." The way the dialogue immediately undercuts her. "That's a carrot. Well, it was a little picked over." Granny, "This sack is full of roots," still makes me smile with a private recognition. I cannot watch this without feeling the protective tenderness I have always carried for these characters, as if they were distant relatives whose quirks I know by heart and whose intentions, however misguided, spring from the purest places. What still moves me after all these years is the depth of Granny's matchmaking urge. It is not mere meddling. In Irene Ryan's hands it becomes a kind of fierce mountain-bred maternal gravity. She is not simply bored or mischievous. She is answering some seasonal call that the script names with gentle precision, cause it's coming on the time of the year when you get the matchmaking urge. I have always felt that this line carries more weight than it first appears to. In the rural world, the clampets come from the turning of the seasons still dictates human affairs in ways the polished streets of Beverly Hills have long forgotten. Spring is for planting and for pairing. Granny's potion is not a joke to her. It is continuity, a thread that stretches back through generations of women who believed that love could be helped along with roots and careful boiling. When Jethro warns her, "Don't go looking for a sweetheart for me," and that includes trying to bribe, trick, trap, or conjure one, I hear both the comic protest of a young man who wants to choose his own path and the deeper cultural collision that the series returns to again and again. The boy who has been to the 6th grade and now lives among swimming pools and chauffeurs is already half persuaded by the modern world, while Granny remains rooted in an older, more enchanted order. I remember the first time this sequence made me laugh out loud, not at the broadness of the humor but at the exquisite timing of the shift that follows. Jethro, ever the enthusiast for anything that sounds scientific, produces the newspaper advertisement for roto-romance. The language of the ad is pure mid-60s futurism, and every time I hear it, I feel a small ache of nostalgia for an era that still believed machines might solve the oldest human problems. Find the perfect mate for you scientifically and accurately by computer selection. We have a human stockpile of thousands of people, all sizes and types, eager to meet you. Call now, Roto Romance Incorporated. The phrase human stockpile is especially delicious. It reduces the mystery of attraction to inventory, and Granny's reaction is everything I love about Irene Ryan's performance. She does not merely reject the idea, she pronounces judgment upon an entire age. Machines picking out mates, I never heard such craziness. Then comes the line that still delights me with its perfect rural contempt: computers are these across the tracks and up the road from playing old machines, sheep dip, all of it. Sheep dip. I cannot hear those two words without smiling. In Granny's mouth, the most advanced technology of the day is reduced to the same category as a preparation for treating livestock parasites. The dismissal is absolute. And yet it is delivered with such matter-of-fact authority that one almost believes her. And yet, and this is the moment that reveals for me the secret heart of the scene, Granny's certainty is not as unshakable as it first appears. After the potion boils too long and she laments, "There goes my last chance to get Jetta a spring wedding," a quieter calculation begins. Roto-romance, all sizes and types, well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to look over their stock. That small concession still moves me. It is the sound of an old woman who loves her family more than she loves her principles. She will not abandon the potion entirely. Magic remains her first language, but she is willing just this once to inspect the competition. The tension between folk wisdom and computer punch cards is established in these few minutes with a lightness that belies its depth. I have always felt that the series is at its best when it allows both systems of belief to coexist without forcing a victor. Granny's roots and Roto-Romance's data cards are simply two different ways of trying to take care of the people one loves. The physical comedy of the scene is equally rich when one watches with the eye of long affection. I can still picture Irene Ryan's hands moving among the roots, the slight hunch of concentration, the sudden flare of indignation when Jethro challenges her. Max Baer Jr. Jethro, all eager limbs and open face, waves the newspaper as if it were a banner of progress. The contrast between their bodies tells the story before the dialogue finishes it: one rooted, one restless, one ancient, one newly modern. Buddy Ebsen has not yet entered, but his absence is already felt. The moral center of the family is elsewhere, and these two are left to negotiate the future on their own imperfect terms. What I find myself returning to decade after decade is the tenderness beneath the laughter. Granny is not trying to control Jethro so much as she is trying to secure his happiness before another season slips away. In the world she comes from, an unmarried young man is a kind of unfinished business, a story that has not yet found its proper ending. The computer service offers a different promise efficiency scale, the reassuring language of science, but it cannot speak to the same deep need. When Granny finally allows herself to consider roto-romance, she is not surrendering, she is expanding the arsenal of care. That distinction has always mattered to me. It is why I keep coming back to these early moments. They remind me that the Clampett's comedy is never merely satirical, it is protective. It is the laughter of people who refuse to let the people they love go through the world alone. I think often of the historical moment in which these episodes first appeared. Computer dating was still a novelty in the middle 1960s, a gleaming promise that technology might rationalize the most irrational of human enterprises. For audiences living through the rapid expansion of mainframe computers and the early rhetoric of the information age, roto-romance must have felt both absurd and oddly plausible. To place that novelty beside Granny's roots and potions was a stroke of quiet genius. The show never lectures, it simply lets the two worldviews stand in the same kitchen and watch what happens. Every time I revisit the scene, I feel a fresh wave of gratitude for that restraint. There is no need to declare a winner. The comedy arises from the collision itself and from the unmistakable fact that both Granny and Jethro are in their different ways trying to do right by the family. The language of the advertisement, scientifically and accurately by computer selection, still carries for me the faint perfume of an era that believed measurement could replace mystery. Granny's reply reduces that belief to sheep dip, and in that reduction I hear not only comic defiance but a kind of philosophical stand. Some things, the line insists, cannot be punched onto cards. Love in Granny's cosmology is closer to weather than to data, it arrives when it arrives. And sometimes it needs a little help from the right roots boiled at the right hour. That the potion fails by boiling too long is itself a gentle joke about the limits of even traditional knowledge. Magic, like science, is fallible. The difference is that Granny accepts the failure without losing faith in the underlying principle. I cannot watch the moment when she softens. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to look over their stock without feeling a small private rush of affection. It is the sound of love overriding ideology. In that single concession, the entire moral architecture of the series is quietly affirmed. The Clampetts will try almost anything if it might bring happiness to one of their own. They will mock the modern world and then 5 minutes later knock on its door. They will defend the old ways and then, when the old ways falter, experiment with the new. That flexibility born of loyalty rather than fashion is what continues to feel like a quiet refuge to me after all these years. As the scene closes and the possibility of roto-romance settles over the household, I find myself already anticipating the chain of misunderstandings that will follow. But for now, in this opening movement, everything is still potential. The sack of roots sits between two worldviews. The newspaper advertisement gleams with its promise of perfect matches. And Granny, fierce and tender at once, begins to consider that perhaps the future might be approached by more than one path. I have loved this moment for decades, and I love it still, not because it is the funniest sequence in the series, though it is very funny, but because it contains in miniature the entire emotional argument of the Beverly Hillbillies that family is a kind of magic older than any machine, and that the people who practice that magic will use whatever tools come to hand, ancient or modern, so long as the people they love are not left alone. 68 million a day, Jethro's questionnaire, and the computer's perfect mismatch. I have always been struck by the particular flavor of comedy that arrives the moment Jethro sits down to answer the roto-romance questionnaire. There is something almost tender in the way the scene unfolds, as if the writers understood that the purest laughter often grows out of earnestness rather than cynicism. The first time I watched Jethro struggle through those questions, I remember feeling a quiet protectiveness toward him, the same feeling one has for a large, good-hearted dog that has wandered into a room full of fragile furniture. He is so willing, so open, so completely without guile that the modern machinery of computer dating seems both ridiculous and strangely touching in his presence. "Sorry to keep you waiting, Jethro," the woman says, and already the tone is set. Jethro has been answering questions with such enthusiasm that the interviewer has had to take aspirin. "I was getting to like answering all them questions with you," he tells her, and the line still makes me smile with private recognition. What still moves me after all these years is the absolute sincerity of that statement. Jethro is not performing. He is simply enjoying the novelty of being asked about himself in a systematic way. In the world, he comes from people know one another through shared work and shared meals, not through forms. The questionnaire is a new kind of intimacy, and he meets it with the same open-hearted curiosity he brings to everything else. Then comes the moment that has never lost its power to surprise me, no matter how many times I return to it. The interviewer asks for his income. Jethro answers almost casually. They say it's about $7,400. She writes it down as a yearly figure. He corrects her with the calm of a man stating a simple fact of whether a year. "Oh no, ma'am, a day. Yeah, that's the interest on the money we got, 68 million. The silence that follows is one of the purest comic pauses in the entire series. I cannot watch this without feeling a small delighted shock all over again. The number is so large, so casually delivered that it rearranges the air in the room. The woman begins writing the figures on the back of Jethro's hand because ordinary paper is suddenly insufficient. Up down 20, she murmurs. And the physical comedy of that moment, her pen moving across his skin while he sits patiently still, feels to me like a perfect distillation of the show's genius. Wealth has become so abstract that it can only be recorded on the body of the person who barely understands it. I remember the first time this sequence made me laugh out loud, not at the size of the fortune but at the complete absence of pride in Jethro's voice. He is not boasting, he is simply reporting what they say. The $68 million exists somewhere in the background of his life, the way the mountains once did present, reliable and largely unexamined. For me, this moment reveals something essential about the Clampett family's relationship to money. They have never learned to perform wealth. They have never learned the careful modesty or the careful display that Beverly Hills requires. The fortune is simply there like a good spring or a stand of timber, and Jethro treats it with the same matter-of-factness. The scene then shifts, as these episodes so often do, into a wider web of misunderstanding. Miss Hathaway, ever the well-meaning instrument of Mr. Drysdale's schemes, has not only paid Jethro's fees but has submitted data cards for Ellie Mae and Granny as well. When she announces that she herself is going to try roto-romance, the computer responds by blacking out all of Beverly Hills. "You're improving, Miss Hathaway," Mr. Drysdale tells her. And the line still delights me with its dry understatement. "This time you've blacked out all of Beverly Hills." I have always felt a special affection for these small technological disasters. They are the series' way of suggesting that some human complications are simply too large or too pure for machines to process. Granny's earlier dismissal of computers as sheepdip begins to look less like ignorance and more like prophetic caution. What continues to move me is the way the computer, for all its scientific pretensions, immediately produces a perfect mismatch. The card belonging to Jed Clampett, filled with holes that look to Jethro like the result of gunfire, is fed into the machine and out comes the name Gladys Peabody. Never in my career have I seen two people who computed so perfectly, the operator declares. Gladys Peabody and Jed Clampett, every punch perfectly aligned. The language of perfection is itself comic. The machine speaks with absolute confidence about a pairing that any human eye would recognize as absurd. I cannot hear those words without feeling the gentle satire that runs beneath the entire roto-romance plot. The show is not simply mocking technology, it is questioning the very idea that human connection can be reduced to aligned punches on a card. Linda Oliver enters the office at this point, and the collision of expectations becomes almost musical. Jethro takes one look at her and assumes she must be the perfect woman the computer has selected for him. His questions, "Do you know how to milk a cow or spin cloth, or plant taters," are delivered with such hopeful seriousness that I still feel a pang of protective tenderness. He is measuring her against the only standard of usefulness he knows. When she admits she cannot do any of those things, his disappointment is genuine and therefore funny. The computer's promise of a scientifically perfect match has already begun to unravel in the face of actual human presence. I have always been struck by how carefully the script balances affection and absurdity in these moments. Jethro is never merely the butt of the joke. His longing for connection is real. His belief that a machine might solve the problem of loneliness is in its way as sincere as Granny's belief in potions. Both of them are reaching toward the same mysterious good companionship continuity, the sense that one is not alone in the world, and both of them are using the tools their respective eras have given them. The comedy arises from the gap between the tool and the desire, not from any cruelty toward the people who wield the tools. The historical texture of the middle 1960s deepens the scene for me every time I return to it. Computer dating was still new enough to feel slightly miraculous and slightly sinister. The language of human stockpile and data cards carried the cold glamour of the emerging information age. To place that language in the same narrative as Jethro's 6th grade education and Granny's roots is to create a collision that feels almost philosophical. The show never lectures about the limits of technology, It simply lets Jethro answer questions with complete honesty and then watches the machinery of modern matchmaking strain under the weight of that honesty. When the interviewer writes the income figures on the back of Jethro's hand, I always feel a small private rush of recognition. It is one of those physical details that elevates the comedy into something almost poetic. The body becomes the only surface large enough to hold the truth of the Clampett fortune. Paper is too small. The ordinary world is too small. Only the living hand of the man who barely understands his own wealth can contain the numbers. That image has stayed with me for decades. It seems to say, without ever stating it directly, that some realities are too large for the systems we invent to manage them. As the sequence draws toward its close, the seeds of every later misunderstanding have already been planted. Jed's card has been processed. Gladys Peabody has been declared the perfect match. Linda Oliver has appeared and been measured against the standards of the hills. Miss Hathaway has blacked out a portion of the city in her enthusiasm. And Jethro, bless him, remains serenely confident that the computer has never been wrong. The computer has never ever been wrong, he will insist later. And the line still makes me smile with a mixture of fondness and mild alarm. His faith is absolute. It is the same faith Granny places in her potions, only dressed in the language of science rather than the language of roots. I cannot watch these scenes without feeling the quiet joy of recognition. This is the Clampett family at their most characteristic, earnest, slightly bewildered, utterly loyal to one another, and completely unprepared for the systems the modern world has invented to organize human longing. The questionnaire, the punched cards, the blacked-out city, the fortune recorded on the back of a hand, all of it becomes under the show's gentle gaze, a kind of love story told in the wrong language. The right language, the series keeps suggesting, is still the one spoken in kitchens and around cement ponds, the language of people who know one another by the work of their hands and the weather of their hearts. What still moves me most is the absence of condescension. The writers and the performers never ask us to feel superior to Jethro's belief in the machine or to Granny's belief in magic. They simply place both beliefs in the same story and let the comedy arise from their collision. In that refusal to choose sides, I find something that continues to feel like a quiet refuge. The world is full of systems that claim to know us better than we know ourselves. The Beverly Hillbillies reminds me, again and again, that the oldest and most reliable knowledge is still the knowledge of who will sit with you when the potion fails and the computer punches the wrong card. Gladys Peabody and the wrong bride, romantic confusion at the Clampett mansion. I have always been struck by the particular quality of awkwardness that fills the Clampett living room the moment Mr. Filbert arrives with Gladys Peabody. It is not the sharp, mean-spirited awkwardness of later comedies. It is a softer, more human kind of discomfort, the kind that arises when good intentions collide with simple reality. The first time I watched this sequence, I remember feeling an almost protective urge to step between the characters and gently rearrange the situation. Everything is already slightly wrong and yet no one is unkind. That combination still moves me. "Is Mr. Clapper here?" Mr. Filbert asks, and Jed answers with his customary quiet courtesy. "Well, that's me." The introduction that follows is one of those perfect comic setups the series does so well. Mr. Filbert presents Miss Gladys Peabody as the scientifically selected match, and Jed's response is pure Buddy Ebsen, polite, slightly bewildered, and already trying to make the best of an unexpected situation. "I just wasn't expecting someone quite so well." He never finishes the sentence, and the unfinished quality of it has always felt to me like a small act of kindness. He will not complete a thought that might wound. What still moves me after all these years is the way the script immediately elevates the central joke into something almost philosophical. When Gladys, or the situation around her, registers disappointment at Jed's appearance, Mr. Filbert delivers the line that has stayed with me for decades: appearances are the smallest part of a Rodo romance. True love depends on what you have here. Jed, ever literal and ever hopeful, points to his heart. "You mean in our heart?" The correction is swift and absolute. "Oh no no no. On your punch card." I cannot hear that exchange without feeling a quiet laugh rise in my chest. The entire modern promise of computer matching is reduced in a single breath to a piece of perforated cardboard. The heart is politely set aside, the card is what matters. Jethro's reaction when he believes Gladys is his date is pure Max Bear Jr. earnestness. The computer has never ever been wrong, he declares, and the repetition of that sentence still makes me smile with a mixture of fondness and mild alarm. He clings to the machine's authority the way Granny clings to her potions. Both of them are looking for certainty in a matter that has never offered any. When the family comments on the obvious difference in age, I just can't get over the computer matching up two people of such different ages. Jethro answers with the serene confidence of the true believer. It seemed kind of queer to me too, but it must have known what it was doing. And Mr. Filbert did say that our match was programmed in heaven. Programmed in heaven. The phrase is so perfectly absurd that it has never lost its power to delight me. Science and providence have been forced into the same sentence and neither one quite fits. I remember the first time the conversation about hobbies made me laugh out loud. Jethro asked what he likes to do, answers with complete honesty. Eating. Gladys lights up. Well, one of mine is cooking. The moment is small, almost delicate, and yet it contains an entire possible future. Two people who might never have found each other through ordinary means have discovered a single shared interest. For a few seconds, the computer's claim of perfection does not seem entirely ridiculous. Then the practical realities of the Clampett kitchen assert themselves and the gentle comedy resumes. What continues to move me is the scene in which Jed sits down with Gladys to get better acquainted. He approaches the conversation with the same steady courtesy he brings to every human encounter. They speak of school. I understand you've been clean through the 3rd grade. Well, to be honest, I had to drop out of the 1st. Me too. They speak of farm life, of missing the land, of the simple pleasure of looking out a window at something green. In these quiet exchanges I hear the real music of the series. Beneath all the mismatched dates and punched cards, two people who understand the same weather and the same work are simply talking. Buddy Ebsen plays these moments with such understated grace that I often find myself watching his face more than listening to the words. There is no condescension in him, no impatience. He is simply present with another human being who has been delivered to his door by a machine and a misunderstanding. The turning point of the sequence, the moment when Jed and Gladys discover they hit it off just like we've known each other all our lives, still feels to me like one of the series' quiet affirmations of human over mechanical judgment. Jed has not stolen Jethro's girl in any calculating sense. He has simply recognized a kinship that the computer, for all its perfect alignment of punches, could only gesture toward. When Jethro learns what has happened, his response is pure Clampett logic. See as how you stole my bride-to-be, I don't suppose you mind if I stole yours. The symmetry is comic and oddly fair. Linda Oliver, who has been hovering at the edge of these scenes with her own gentle disappointment, is now free to become Jethro's intended. The computer's perfect matches have been rearranged by ordinary human preference and the world feels briefly more sensible. I have always felt a special tenderness for Granny's running commentary throughout this romantic confusion. She has no faith in the computer and makes no secret of it. The only thing you can be sure about with a roto-romance is that you'd be going out with the wrong fella. Her skepticism is not mean-spirited. It is the skepticism of a woman who has watched too many seasons turn and too many young people try to outrun the older knowledge of the heart. When she sees the age difference and the general mismatch, her reactions are pure Irene Ryan, sharp, funny and rooted in a fierce protective love. She does not trust the machine because she trusts something older. The physical life of these scenes remains vivid in my memory. The way Gladys is led into the mansion, the way Jethro stands tall in his borrowed cord and duds, the way Jed's face registers each new piece of information without ever losing its fundamental kindness, all of it feels observed rather than invented. The comedy never requires anyone to become smaller or meaner than they are. Even Mr. Filbert, the apostle of punch card love, is allowed his moment of genuine wonder. Isn't love just wonderful? He means the aligned holes in the cards, of course, but the line floats free of its intended meaning and becomes for a second simply true. What I find myself reflecting on most often is the series' gentle insistence that human recognition still matters more than data. The computer can align every punch. It can declare two people perfect for each other with absolute confidence. And yet the moment Jed and Gladys begin talking about the farm and the window and the shared experience of leaving school early, something realer than any card asserts itself. The show never preaches this moral. It simply lets the conversation happen and trusts the audience to feel the difference. I cannot watch the final rearrangements of this sequence, Jed with Gladys, Jethro with Linda, the family adjusting to the new pairings with their customary mixture of confusion and goodwill, without feeling a quiet gratitude. In a later age of algorithms and predictive matching, these scenes feel almost prophetic. They remind me that the oldest form of compatibility testing is still two people sitting down and discovering whether they miss the same things. The punch cards can wait. The heart, despite Mr. Filbert's correction, still has its own claims. As the romantic confusion of the mansion begins to settle into new and unexpected pairs, I feel the same protective tenderness I felt the first time I watched it. These people are trying in their different ways to take care of one another. The machine has offered its solution. The family has revised it. And somewhere in the revision, something closer to real affection has been allowed to breathe. That for me remains the lasting grace of these scenes. Society Sandy and the coming out dream, Ellie Mae's introduction to Beverly Hills. I have always been struck by the particular spark that lights in Granny's eyes the moment she finishes reading Society Sandy's column about Diana Dayton. It is not envy exactly, and it is not pure ambition. It is something closer to a sudden fierce clarity. The first time I watched this turn in the story, I remember feeling a familiar protective warmth rise in my chest. Granny has tried every love charm in her book to find Ellie Mae a husband. Now the modern world has handed her a new method. And she seizes it with the same absolute commitment she once gave to roots and potions. Benny Guess Who's in the paper, she calls, and the household gathers around the news that Diana Dayton has become engaged only hours after her coming out party. Granny's initial reaction is pure mountain judgment. She mistakes an actor's photograph for the young woman and declares her the ugliest thing I ever did see. Got a beard clear down to her chest. The correction is gentle and funny, but the real engine of the scene is already turning. If a coming-out party can secure a husband for someone Granny considers ordinary, then Ellie Mae, sweet, strong, and still unmarried, deserves the same chance. What still moves me after all these years is the simple logic Granny applies. The reason Ellie ain't got no dates is because nobody in Beverly Hills knows that she's here. She ain't been presented to society. The diagnosis is both comic and oddly accurate. In the world the Clampetts now inhabit, visibility is a form of currency. Ellie Mae has been living in one of the most famous mansions in the country, yet she remains socially invisible. Granny's solution is characteristically direct. Present her. Make her known. Give the young men of Beverly Hills a chance to see what the family already knows. I remember the first time Jethro's telephone conversation with the newspaper made me laugh with pure delight. He is instructed to ask Society Sandy what it takes to give a coming-out party, and the answers come back like a shopping list from another planet. Hand-engraved invitations. Everybody in the Blue Book. Party victuals fixed by a world-famous chef. Music for dancing. Granny receives each requirement with the calm of a general accepting new orders. She will do the cooking herself. Jethro can play the spoon while she plays the guitar. And when the scale of the event becomes clear, she upgrades the music without hesitation. This calls for nothing less than Luther Gooch and his Ozark Jug Band. The leap from kitchen instruments to a hired Ozark ensemble still feels to me like a perfect expression of Clampett ambition. They will meet the world on their own terms, but they will meet it fully. The language of the Blue Book produces one of the series' quiet masterstrokes of misunderstanding. Society Sandy has spoken of the 400. Jethro and Granny consult the only book they know with a blue cover, the Beverly Hills telephone directory, and prepare to invite everyone in it. I cannot watch this moment without feeling a soft ache of recognition. The social register and the phone book are to the Clampetts essentially the same object, a list of people who might be invited. The distinction that means everything in Beverly Hills means almost nothing on the cement pond. That gap in understanding is never mocked. It is simply allowed to exist, and the comedy grows naturally from it. When Society Sandy herself receives the news, the scene shifts into a different register of delight. The reporter's initial confusion, did I meet her at the Von Clippington tea dance, gives way to pure journalistic hunger once the size of the Clampett fortune is confirmed. J.D. Clampett has $68 million. They're oil rich. It's gonna be the biggest wing ding you ever seen. The transformation of Granny's practical plan into a society scoop still makes me smile. The same event is being imagined in two completely different languages. For Granny, it is a way to get Ellie Mae presented and with luck married. For Society Sandy, it is copy status and the thrilling scent of new money entering the old list. I have always felt a special tenderness for the way Jed receives the plan. He does not oppose it. He simply tries in his quiet way to keep the language honest. When Granny compares the coming out party to the old horse auction approach, Jed murmurs that he would not put it just that way. The correction is gentle, almost apologetic, and it reveals the moral center he always provides. He understands that Ellie Mae is not livestock to be displayed. She is his daughter. The party may be necessary in this strange new world, but it will not be allowed to reduce her. Mr. Drysdale and Miss Hathaway's reaction to the newspaper announcement belongs to a different emotional key. Their panic is real and immediately comic. Call that paper, they can't print lies like that. I'll sue. Then the slower realization that the story is true and that every matron in Beverly Hills will now feel obligated to attend. I cannot watch their alarm without feeling the series' gentle satire of social anxiety at its most affectionate. Drysdale is terrified not of the party itself but of the exposure it will bring. The Clampetts might be laughed at. Worse, they might be taken seriously. Either outcome threatens the careful distance he has tried to maintain between their fortune and their manners. What continues to move me is Granny's absolute conviction that the plan will work. A coming-out party can get a gal married quicker than a shotgun could back home. The comparison is pure Granny, practical, unsentimental, and rooted in a world where results matter more than appearances. She has no interest in the ritual for its own sake. She is interested in the outcome. Ellie Mae deserves a husband. The modern world has a procedure for producing one. Granny will follow the procedure, even if she has to redefine every term along the way. The historical texture of the middle 1960s deepens these scenes for me every time I return to them. Coming-out parties still carried real social weight in certain circles. The language of presentation and the 400 still meant something. To place that fading ritual in the hands of a mountain family who treat it as a practical tool for solving an unmarried daughter's future is to create a collision that feels both comic and oddly poignant. The old forms are being used by people who never inherited them, and in the using they are changed. I find myself lingering often on the small domestic details. Granny has already been cooking for 48 hours by the time Drysdale and Hathaway arrive. She is asleep, standing up, leaning against the cupboard with a ladle in her hand. The image is pure Irene Ryan, exhausted, determined, and completely unwilling to stop. Ellie Mae's future is at stake. Sleep can wait. That single-minded devotion still feels to me like one of the purest expressions of love the series ever offered. As the coming-out dream takes shape in the Clampett mansion, invitations to be engraved, a jug band to be hired, possum sausages already underway, I feel the same quiet joy of recognition I felt the first time I watched it. This is the family at their most characteristic, ambitious on behalf of one of their own, willing to learn the new rules and completely incapable of playing the game without rewriting it in their own language. Society Sandy will get her scoop. The Blue Book will be consulted in its telephone directory form. And Ellie Mae, whether she wishes it or not, is about to be presented to a world that has never quite known what to make of her. The dream is already in motion. I cannot watch it begin without feeling a protective tenderness for everyone involved, for Granny's fierce hope, for Ellie Mae's gentle patience, for Jed's quiet attempts to keep the proceedings humane, and even for the society columnist who senses that something unprecedented is about to enter the lists. The party has not yet happened. The mismatches and masquerades are still ahead. But in this moment of pure intention, the Clampetts are simply trying once again to take care of their own by any means the strange new world will allow. Blue Book and Jug Band, planning the party with telephone directories and Ozark music. I have always been struck by the particular happiness that settles over the Clampett household once the coming-out party moves from idea into actual preparation. There is an industrious joy in these scenes that still feels to me like one of the purest pleasures the series offers. The first time I watched the family gathered around the work of invitation making, I remember smiling with a private recognition. This is how the Clampetts meet every new challenge, by putting their hands to it, by turning the unfamiliar into something they can understand through labor. The hand-engraved invitations become the first great comic engine of the sequence. Society Sandy has said the invitations must be hand-engraved. The Clampetts take the instruction with complete seriousness. Jed and Jethro set to work, and when the labor proves slow, Bessie the chimpanzee is recruited to help. "Come on, Bessie, can't you go no faster?" Jethro urges, and Jed defends her with the patience of a man who has worked beside every kind of creature. "She can print twice as pretty as you can." The image of the chimp carefully copying letters still delights me. It is absurd, and yet it is also oddly dignified. In the Clampett world, every willing hand, human or otherwise, is put to use. No one is turned away from the work of caring for Ellie Mae's future. What still moves me after all these years is the moment the Blue Book is finally produced. Jethro holds up the Beverly Hills telephone directory with the quiet pride of a man who has solved a puzzle. Here's one. This is the Beverly Hills telephone directory. That's right, that's the only one with the blue cover. The misunderstanding is perfect. The social register and the phone book are to the family interchangeable objects. Both are lists of names. Both can be used to gather people. The fact that one list represents old society and the other represents everyone who happens to have a telephone is a distinction the Clampetts have not been trained to make. I cannot watch Jed's mild confusion. Boy, if I wasn't so doggone good at ciphering, I'd swear there was more than 400 names in here without feeling a soft ache of affection. He is trying so hard to do the thing correctly, and the correct thing keeps sliding away from him into comedy. Mrs. Drysdale's arrival shifts the emotional weather of the house. She comes offering help, and the family receives her with open gratitude. Miss Drysdale, now let's make her welcome. Granny begins listing the menu with the pride of a woman who has already been cooking for 2 days: possum sausages, filet gumbo full of whole crawdads, big chunks of catfish and mudsucker. Mrs. Drysdale's response is, "How wonderful, the 400 will love them. Oh, my taste buds are doing a tango," are delivered with a brightness that only the long-time viewer recognizes as dangerous. I have always felt a complicated tenderness toward Margaret Drysdale in these scenes. She is not purely malicious. She is a woman trying to protect a social order she believes in, and the Clampetts keep threatening to overwhelm it with sheer well-meaning force. Her decision to take over the guest list is both an act of sabotage and, in her own mind, an act of mercy. The musical arrangements produce another quiet masterpiece of Clampett logic. The original plan calls for Luther Gooch and his Ozark Jug Band. When both that group and Millard Fribble's musical Saw Act cancel, one for a better offer at a hog and steer exposition, the other because the musicians have celebrated their new jugs too enthusiastically, Jed simply adjusts. They will play records. Bluegrass. Barn dance music. Mrs. Drysdale assures them that country music is a high society favorite. And the line still makes me smile with its perfect double edge. She may be steering them toward disaster, but she is also without meaning to telling a kind of truth. The music of the hills has always had its own dignity. The fact that Beverly Hills is not prepared for it is Beverly Hills's problem, not the music's. I remember the first time the image of Granny asleep on her feet reached me with unexpected force. She has been cooking for 48 hours. She is asleep, standing up, leaning against the cupboard with a ladle in her hand. Irene Ryan plays the exhaustion without ever letting it become pathetic. This is a woman who will not stop until the work is done. Ellie Mae's future is being prepared one pot at a time, and Granny's body will simply have to keep up. That kind of fierce, practical love still feels to me like one of the series' deepest truths. The coming-out dress that Mrs. Drysdale provides for Ellie Mae becomes another small study in colliding worlds. It is red, covered with fringe and spangles, chosen according to what Mrs. Drysdale insists is tradition. Ellie Mae looks to Granny's eyes just like Gertrude Lovelace in the Star-Spangled Bag of Buns. The family accepts the dress with gratitude. They accept the suggestion of bobbing for apples and a sack race. They accept the idea that everyone else will wear ordinary Sunday clothes while Ellie Mae shines in costume. Each acceptance is an act of trust. They believe Mrs. Drysdale is helping. The audience knows better, and the gap between those two understandings is where much of the comedy lives. What continues to move me is the complete absence of irony in the Clampetts' preparations. They are not trying to impress Beverly Hills for its own sake. They are trying to create an occasion large enough and fine enough that Ellie Mae might be seen and being seen might be chosen. The telephone directory becomes the blue book. The chimpanzee becomes an engraver. The jug band becomes the orchestra of choice. Possum and crawdads become the feast. Every substitution is made in good faith. Every substitution deepens the comic distance between intention and reception. I have always loved the way Jed moves through these scenes. He is not the driving force of the party that is Granny, but he is the quiet center that keeps the enterprise from tipping into pure chaos. When the musical acts cancel, he absorbs the news without drama. When Mrs. Drysdale praises the decorations and suggests a few more corn shocks, he agrees. His courtesy is never false. It is simply the way he meets the world. Watching Buddy Ebsen in these moments, I am reminded again why his presence remains the moral anchor of the entire series. He does not need to make speeches. His steady kindness is the speech. The historical air of the middle 1960s settles over these preparations in ways that still feel poignant to me. Formal coming-out parties were already beginning to fade from the center of American social life, yet the language and the expectations still carried weight. To watch a Mountain family attempt the ritual with a telephone directory and an Ozark jug band is to watch two eras try to occupy the same dance floor. The series never declares a winner, it simply lets the attempt unfold in all its generous absurdity. As the invitations are written, the menu expands, the dress is fitted, and the guest list passes into Mrs. Drysdale's carefully destructive hands. I feel the same quiet anticipation I felt the first time I watched the plan come together. Something large is being built out of materials the builders only half understand. The party has not yet begun. The masquerade has not yet been invented. The laughter and the small disasters are still ahead. But in these scenes of pure preparation of ink and paper, and simmering pots and carefully chosen records, I find one of the series' most enduring pleasures, the sight of people who love one another trying with every tool they can reach to make a place for one of their own in a world that has never quite known how to receive them. Crepe paper and possum sausages, Granny's feast, and Mrs. Drysdale's quiet sabotage. I have always been struck by the particular atmosphere that fills the Clampett mansion in the final hours before the coming-out party. It is an atmosphere of industrious exhaustion and absolute good faith. The first time I watched Mr. Drysdale and Miss Hathaway step into that house and take in the crepe paper decorations, I remember feeling a complicated mixture of delight and protectiveness. The Clampetts have spared no effort. They have simply spared the kind of effort Beverly Hills would recognize. You must have spent $10 or $20 on crepe paper alone, Miss Hathaway says, and the line still makes me smile with its perfect inversion of values. In the world the Drysdales inhabit, $10 or $20 on decoration is a comic understatement of failure. In the world the Clampetts inhabit, it is evidence of serious commitment. The paper hangs in cheerful abundance. The house has been transformed by hands that know how to make a place ready for celebration, even if the materials are not the ones society expects. What still moves me after all these years is the sight of Granny in the kitchen. She has been cooking for 48 hours. She is, as Jed reports, sleep standing up, leaning against the cupboard with a ladle in her hand. Irene Ryan plays that exhaustion with a kind of fierce dignity that has never lost its power over me. This is not a woman who has been defeated by labor. This is a woman who has simply refused to stop. Ellie Mae's future is simmering in those pots. And Granny's body will keep the pace the future requires. When she lists the menu for Mrs. Drysdale: possum sausages, filet gumbo full of whole crawdads, big chunks of catfish and mudsucker, I hear both pride and a quiet challenge. These are the foods of home. They have fed people through harder seasons than any Beverly Hills dinner party. If the 400 cannot recognize their worth, that is the 400's loss. Mrs. Drysdale's responses belong to a different emotional register entirely. How wonderful! The 400 will love them. Oh, my taste buds are doing a tango. The brightness of her voice is flawless. Only the long-time viewer understands that every compliment is a small act of reconnaissance. I have always felt a reluctant sympathy for Margaret Drysdale in these scenes. She is not inventing malice out of nothing. She genuinely believes the Clampetts are about to humiliate themselves and, by extension, the social world she is determined to protect. Her decision to take the invitations and destroy them in the incinerator is both ruthless and in her own mind merciful. She will save them from themselves by making certain the right people never come. The moment Miss Hathaway learns what Mrs. Drysdale has done remains one of the series' quiet masterpieces of character revelation. "Chief, that's so sly and devious, Mr. Drysdale's reply is pure Raymond Bailey. Yes, isn't she wonderful? The exchange still delights me. In the Drysdale marriage, effective sabotage is a form of spousal excellence. The line carries no irony for him. He means it. And in that unguarded admiration I glimpse the private logic that keeps their uneasy partnership intact. I remember the first time Ellie Mae's coming-out dress reached me with unexpected force. Mrs. Drysdale has chosen it according to what she claims is tradition, bright red heavy with fringe and spangles. Ellie Mae descends the stairs and the family gathers to admire her. Granny's comparison, she looks just like Gertrude Lovelace in the Star-Spangled Bag of Buns, is delivered with complete sincerity. The dress is flashy by any ordinary measure, yet the Clampetts accept it as the proper costume for the occasion. They accept the suggested games of bobbing for apples and a sack race. They accept the idea that the rest of the family will wear ordinary Sunday clothes while Ellie Mae shines in costume. Each acceptance is an act of trust so complete it becomes almost painful to watch. They believe they are being guided. They are being steered. What continues to move me is Jed's steady presence through all of it. He does not drive the preparations that engine his granny, but he absorbs every new development with the same quiet courtesy. When the musical acts cancel, he simply notes the fact and turns to the phonograph. When Mrs. Drysdale praises the corn shocks and suggests a few more, he agrees. Buddy Ebsen plays these moments with such understated grace that I often find myself watching the small adjustments in his expression more than the larger action. He knows in some wordless way that the evening is sliding beyond anyone's full control. He will not add to the confusion by resisting. He will simply remain present for whatever arrives. The physical comedy of the kitchen and the decorating carries a warmth that still feels like a refuge to me. The ladle in Granny's sleeping hand. The crepe paper looping through rooms that once held only mountain furniture. The chimpanzee who earlier helped with invitations now presumably at rest. Every detail insists that this party is being built by people who know how to work. The tragedy and the comedy is that the work is being measured by people who know only how to judge. I have always loved the way the script allows Mrs. Drysdale her moment of genuine aesthetic satisfaction even as she undermines the event. She looks at Ellie Mae in the red dress and declares her perfect. She looks at the decorations and finds them fabulous provided a few more corn shocks are added. She is not wholly pretending. Part of her is able to admire the sheer commitment on display. The sabotage exists alongside that admiration, and the contradiction makes her more human than a simpler villain would have been. The historical texture of these scenes deepens every time I return to them. In the middle 1960s, the formal mechanisms of society, the right invitations, the right foods, the right music still carried real power for those who believed in them. To watch a mountain family attempt those mechanisms with possum and jug band records and telephone directory guests is to watch two definitions of proper occupy the same house without either fully recognizing the other. The series never forces a moral verdict. It simply lets the crepe paper hang and the sausages simmer and trusts the audience to feel the distance. As the final preparations complete themselves, the dress fitted, the menu locked, the invitations quietly destroyed, the family still believing they have been helped, I feel the same quiet anticipation mixed with protectiveness that I felt the first time I watched the evening approach. Something large and well-intentioned is about to meet a world that has already decided how to receive it. Granny's feast is ready. The crepe paper is hung. Ellie Mae is dressed in the colors of celebration. And somewhere in the city, the right people have been carefully prevented from knowing the party exists at all. The sabotage is complete. The good faith of the Clampetts remains untouched. That gap between intention and outcome has always seemed to me one of the series' most enduring truths. People may try to protect you from yourself. They may burn the invitations and praise the sausages with equal brightness, but they cannot touch the love that built the feast in the first place. That love is still standing in the kitchen with a ladle in its hand waiting for the guests who may or may not come. Masquerade and mistaken identity, turning social disaster into comic triumph. I have always been struck by the particular brilliance of the moment when Mr. Drysdale and Miss Hathaway decide that the only way to save the evening is to rename it. The coming out party is already in motion, the wrong decorations are hung, the wrong food is prepared. The wrong guests or no guests of the proper sort are expected. And then in a flash of desperate inspiration the entire disaster is reframed as a masquerade. The first time I watched that pivot I remember laughing with a kind of relieved delight. It is one of the series' purest examples of comic alchemy. Take an impossible situation, give it a new name and watch the impossible become merely eccentric. A society first. Miss Hathaway proposes a masquerade coming out party. Mr. Drysdale's agreement is reluctant and immediately practical. They begin telephoning the guest list with the new instructions. I cannot watch those hurried calls without feeling a private admiration for the sheer nerve of the solution. If the Clampetts are going to look like they have stepped out of another century, then everyone else must be made to look as though they have done the same. The strange clothes, the strange food, the strange music, all of it can be absorbed into the single elastic explanation of costume. What still moves me after all these years is the small domestic detail that seals the plan. Mrs. Drysdale, who has worked so carefully to control the guest list and the tone of the evening, is locked in a closet by her own husband so that she cannot undo the new arrangement. I locked her in the closet, Mr. Drysdale reports later with the calm of a man who has done what was necessary. The line still makes me smile. In the Drysdale marriage, extreme measures are simply another form of problem solving. Raymond Bailey delivers the admission without shame and without triumph. It is merely a fact of the evening, as ordinary as the crepe paper still hanging in the Clampett halls. When the party itself begins, the comedy widens into something almost dreamlike. Guests arrive in costumes that range from the merely odd to the openly bewildering. One man wears a sheet and a cluster of leaves in his hair. Granny mistakes the leaves for a bird's nest. Another guest dancing with Ellie Mae announces that he is Napoleon. Granny's running commentary is pure Irene Ryan gold. Well, if this is the cream, I'd hate to see the skim milk. Look at em, they're all a bunch of goofs. Her judgments are sharp, funny, and completely without malice. She has expected the cream of society. What she has received is a room full of people in strange clothes who claim to be historical figures. The gap between expectation and reality is enormous, and she meets it with the same practical skepticism she once brought to computer dating. I remember the first time Society Sandy's appearance at the party reached me with unexpected force. The columnist arrives with a sore throat that has left her speaking in a low, rough voice, and in the comic logic of the scene carrying a certain masculine air complete with cigar. Jed's reaction is classic Buddy Ebsen understatement. He is polite, he is willing to be friendly, and yet he confesses to Granny that he does not think he could warm up to a woman who smokes a cigar. The moment is small, almost delicate, and it contains an entire unspoken essay on the limits of even Jed's legendary tolerance. He will welcome almost anyone. He will not pretend that every difference is easily bridged. What continues to move me is the way the Clampetts themselves never fully understand the frame that has been placed around their party. They believe they are hosting a coming-out celebration. The guests believe they are attending a masquerade. The two beliefs run side by side throughout the evening without ever quite colliding into explanation. Jed is awarded first prize for the best costume and never learns why. The detail still delights me. In the eyes of the masquerading guests, his ordinary mountain clothes have become the most successful disguise of the night. He has come as himself, and himself has been judged the finest invention in the room. There is a quiet parable in that judgment that the series never needs to underline. The physical life of the party remains vivid in my memory. The dancing, the strange hats, the leaves, the sheet, the general air of cheerful disorientation, all of it is played with a lightness that keeps the comedy from tipping into cruelty. No one is truly mocked. The guests are enjoying their costumes. The Clampetts are doing their best to be hospitable. Mrs. Drysdale is locked away from the proceedings she once hoped to control, and Mr. Drysdale watches the evening succeed in spite of every prediction. The fortune still safe, the social disaster neatly renamed as originality. I have always felt a special tenderness for Granny's final assessment of the crowd. She has looked at the cream of Beverly Hills society and found it wanting. Yet she does not leave the floor. She does not refuse the dance. She remains present, sharp-eyed and ready with commentary because the evening still belongs to Ellie Mae. That loyalty overrides every disappointment. It is the same loyalty that once boiled potions and once accepted a telephone directory as the Blue Book. The forms keep changing, the care does not. The historical air of the middle 1960s settles over the masquerade in ways that still feel revealing to me. Costume parties and themed events were familiar social tools, ways of managing the unexpected or the unconventional. To watch the Drysdales reach for that tool in order to absorb the Clampetts is to watch the old social machinery performing one of its classic maneuvers. If you cannot prevent the outsiders from arriving, redefine the occasion so that their difference becomes the point. The series understands this maneuver without ever needing to lecture about it. The comedy is enough. As the evening unfolds, Napoleon dancing with Ellie Mae, Society Sandy nursing her mysterious throat, Jed politely accepting praise for a costume he did not know he was wearing. I feel the same quiet joy of recognition I felt the first time the masquerade solution clicked into place. A disaster has been renamed. A gap in understanding has been papered over with the cheerful fiction of disguise. And underneath the fiction, the Clampetts continue to do what they have always done: welcome the people who come through their door, offer them food and music and conversation, and trust that good intentions will somehow be enough. The party succeeds not as the coming-out celebration Granny imagined and not as the controlled society event Mrs. Drysdale once hoped to manage, but as something stranger and more elastic. It succeeds as a masquerade. In that success I find one of the series' most enduring comic truths: sometimes the only way to make room for the Clampetts is to pretend that everyone else is in costume too. The pretense is thin. The hospitality beneath it is not. And for one bright improbable evening, that combination is enough to turn social disaster into a kind of triumph. El Magnifico and the Suit of Lights, Jethro discovers bullfighting and fame. I have always been struck by the particular hunger that overtakes Jethro once the romantic complications of roto-romance begin to settle. It is not merely a desire for money. It is a desire for the kind of money that will let him court a Beverly Hills girl in what he imagines is proper style. The first time I watched him declare that 50 cents a week is no longer enough, I remember feeling a familiar protective ache. Jethro has glimpsed a world of polished surfaces and easy glamour, and he wants to meet it on equal footing. The tragedy and the comedy are that he has no clear idea what equal footing looks like. His first attempt is pure Clampett logic. He goes to the movie studio his uncle owns and offers himself as a producer. When that fails, he offers himself as a director. When that fails, he offers himself as a star. "I'll do anything for some quick money," he tells the studio man. How about directing or starring? The willingness is absolute. The qualifications are non-existent. Max Baer Jr. plays the sequence with such open-faced sincerity that I cannot watch it without smiling. Jethro is not embarrassed by his lack of experience. Experience, in his view, is something that can be acquired after the job has been secured. Then the corridor fills with the sound of an uncontrollable mob of girls and everything changes. They are demanding to see El Magnifico the Matador. Jethro watches the frenzy with the intense concentration of a man witnessing a natural wonder. The Matador is small, dressed in what Jethro immediately dismisses as a sissy suit with knee breeches, and yet the girls throw themselves at him like ducks on a June bug. The image has never lost its power over me. In that moment Jethro sees a complete economic and romantic system made visible. Fight bulls attract women, earn thousands of dollars. The cause and effect seem to him transparent. That's gonna be my life's calling, he announces, fighting bulls and beating off women. The line still makes me laugh with a mixture of delight and mild alarm. It is so perfectly Jethro ambitious, literal, and completely innocent of the actual dangers involved. He has not seen the bull. He has not considered the horn, he has seen only the reward. I have always felt that this is one of the purest expressions of his character. Jethro does not dream in half measures. When a new possible self appears, he claims it at once. What still moves me after all these years is the way he carries the discovery home. He brings El Magnifico's hat, a piece of glittering costume that sits on his head like a borrowed crown. Granny's reaction is immediate and absolute. She wants no part of the plan. Jed's reaction is quieter and more practical. When Jethro asks for money to buy a bull, Jed answers with the steady voice of a man who has spent a lifetime redirecting youthful enthusiasms. You can get a tater fork and go to digging. The exchange is classic. One generation dreams of glory in the bullring. The other generation sees a field that still needs work. I remember the first time Jed's compromise solution reached me with unexpected warmth. If they are going to acquire a bull, he reasons, they might as well acquire one that can serve two purposes. Jethro can try his hand at fighting it. When the fighting is finished, the family can have an old-fashioned barbecue. There ain't nothing a man can get his fill up faster than scrapping with a bull, Jed observes, and then adds the practical coda: the same bull will taste just as good roasted. The dual-use philosophy is pure Clampett. Nothing should be wasted. Even a dream of matador glory can be made to feed the household in the end. The language Jethro uses to describe his new ambition still delights me. He does not speak of art or tradition or the long history of the corridor. He speaks of fame, fortune, and females. The three words arrive in a single breathless package as if they were inseparable. In his mind, they are. The matador's suit of lights, the roaring crowd, the women waiting outside the gate, all of it forms one continuous vision of success. That the vision has almost no contact with the reality of facing a charging animal is for the moment irrelevant. The dream is too bright to admit shadows. I have always loved the small physical details of these scenes. The way Jethro stands a little taller once the idea has taken hold. The way he turns the borrowed hat in his hands as if testing the weight of a possible future. The way Granny's face darkens with every new detail he supplies. Irene Ryan plays the rising alarm without ever losing the undercurrent of affection. She has seen too many of Jethro's enthusiasms to believe this one will end quietly. And yet she cannot help caring about the boy who keeps finding new ways to endanger himself. The historical texture of the middle 1960s adds a quiet layer to the comedy. Bullfighting still carried for many American audiences the exotic glamour of something distant and slightly dangerous. Hollywood had long used the figure of the matador as a symbol of pure masculine display. To place that symbol in the hands of Jethro Bodine, sixth-grade graduate eater of prodigious meals, wearer of a hat that runs mostly to ear, is to create a collision that feels almost philosophical. The old image of the solitary hero in the ring meets the open-faced optimism of the hills, and neither one quite knows what to make of the other. What continues to move me is the complete absence of irony in Jethro's ambition. He does not want to become a matador in order to comment on matadors. He wants to become one because he has seen the girls and the money and the shining suit. The desire is pure. The method is unconsidered. The gap between those two facts is where the comedy lives, and it is a comedy that never requires us to think less of him. We are invited only to watch a young man fall in love with a possible self and to hope, as the family hopes, that the possible self will not get him killed. As the decision hardens and the request for a bull is made, I feel the same quiet mixture of amusement and protectiveness I felt the first time the matador dream was born. Something large and glittering has entered Jethro's imagination. He has seen a man in knee breeches command the screaming attention of a crowd of women, and he has drawn the only conclusion that makes sense to him: he must get a bull of his own. The suit of lights is still only a borrowed hat. The ring is still only an idea. But the hunger for fame, fortune, and females has been lit, and once lit it will not easily go out. The next chapters of the dream, the actual bull, the actual attempts to fight it, the soft heart of Ellie Mae, are still ahead. For now, there is only the discovery, the declaration, and the steady, loving resistance of a family that has seen too many of Jethro's callings to believe this one will be simple. I cannot watch the birth of the ambition without feeling a private tenderness for the young man who keeps trying to invent a larger version of himself, and for the people who keep trying, with varying success, to keep that larger version alive. Marvin the Fighting Bull, Wrestling Tablecloths, and Ellie Mae's Soft Heart. I have always been struck by the particular innocence with which Jethro first approaches his fighting bull. He has named it Marvin. He has studied the animal with the solemn attention of a man inspecting a new piece of equipment, and then with complete confidence he simply steps forward to wrestle it. The first time I watched that opening encounter, I remember laughing in pure surprise. There is no cape, there is no formal pass. There is only Jethro Bodine, 6th grade graduate and self-declared matador, offering a step-over toe hold to a creature that outweighs him by several hundred pounds. "Come on, bull, let's mix it up," he calls. "I dare you cross over that line. I spot you 800 pounds. The challenge is delivered with such open-hearted seriousness that I cannot hear it without smiling. Max Baer Jr. plays the moment with absolute commitment. Jethro is not pretending to be a matador. In his mind, he already is one. The fact that the bull merely looks at him with mild puzzlement does not immediately register as a problem. The animal is simply slow to understand the rules of the new game. What still moves me after all these years is the gentleness of Marvin himself. This is no charging beast of the corridor. This is a farm animal that has been brought into a story it does not understand. When Jethro attempts his combination hornlock and stomach scissors, the bull responds with the patient confusion of a creature that has never been asked to participate in professional wrestling. The physical comedy is exquisite. Jethro exerts himself mightily. Marvin stands there. The gap between the performance Jethro believes he is giving and the reality the rest of us can see is wide enough to drive a truck through, and the series never needs to underline it. The image is enough. Ellie Mae's entrance changes the emotional weather of the scene at once. She does not see a fighting bull. She sees an animal that might be lonely or frightened, or in need of kindness. Within minutes, she has begun to treat Marvin as a potential pet. Jethro's protest is immediate and heartfelt. "She's gonna make a pet out of my fighting bull and ruin my career." The line still makes me ache a little even as I laugh. In Jethro's mind, the career is already real. The fame and the fortune and the females are only a few successful passes away. Ellie Mae's soft heart is the first serious obstacle the dream has encountered. I remember the first time the family commentary reached me with unexpected warmth. Jed and Granny watch from a safe distance, offering the kind of practical observations that only people who have worked with animals can make. I don't know if he's fighting it or trying to chew it. What's the bull doing? He's looking at Jethro kind of puzzled. The remarks are funny, but they are also oddly tender. No one is willing to let Jethro be seriously hurt. At the same time, no one is quite ready to crush the dream outright. The family does what it always does: it stays present, it keeps watching, and it prepares for whatever comes next. The turning point arrives when Jethro finally receives accurate information about how bullfighting is actually done. One does not hand wrestle the animal. One uses a cape. The revelation lands with the force of a complete revision of the universe. Jethro immediately switches tactics. He finds a tablecloth. He begins to practice the elegant passes he has now been told are required. "I'm just gonna wave this fancy tablecloth and duck aside when you run at me," he explains to Marvin. The bull, still the same mild creature, declines to run. It steps on Jethro's toe instead. The comedy is precise and unhurried. Every failed pass deepens the gentle absurdity of the entire enterprise. What continues to move me is Ellie Mae's absolute refusal to see Marvin as an opponent. When Jethro's frustration peaks, she simply removes him from the field of battle by throwing him through the door. The physical feat is pure Donna Douglas unexpected strength wrapped in complete moral clarity. She will not allow the bull to be hurt. She will not allow her cousin to continue a contest that seems to her both pointless and unkind. The act is comic. The motive is not. I cannot watch it without feeling a rush of affection for the character who keeps insisting in every circumstance that living things deserve gentleness. Jed's dual-purpose philosophy hovers over the entire sequence like a quiet punchline that has not yet been spoken. The bull has been acquired so that Jethro may fight it. The same bull, once the fighting is finished, is intended for the barbecue pit. The two destinies exist side by side in the family's practical imagination. Jethro is trying to build a career. The rest of the household is prepared to convert that career into supper if necessary. The tension between those two plans never needs to be stated outright. It simply informs every scene with an extra layer of comic possibility. I have always loved the small details of Jethro's costume and preparation, the borrowed hat that runs mostly to ear, the tablecloth pressed into service as a cape, the solemn lectures he delivers to a bull that has no interest in lectures. Each element is played with such sincerity that the laughter they produce never feels cruel. We are not invited to scorn Jethro's ambition. We are invited to watch a young man attempt to translate a glittering vision into bodily action, and to notice how the world in the form of a mild-eyed bull and a soft-hearted cousin politely declines to cooperate. The historical image of the matador still carries even now a certain distant glamour. The suit of lights, the formal passes, the solitary figure in the ring, all of it belongs to a tradition of masculine display that American popular culture has long found exotic. To place that tradition in the hands of Jethro Bodine and to let it collide with an actual farm bull named Marvin is to create a collision that feels almost philosophical. The myth meets the animal is not impressed. The myth has to adjust. As the wrestling fails and the tablecloth fails and Ellie Mae's intervention makes further combat temporarily impossible. I feel the same quiet mixture of amusement and tenderness I felt the first time I watched the dream begin to fray. Jethro's career as a matador is not yet over. He will try again. He will seek better instruction. He will continue to believe that fame and fortune and females are only a few correct passes away. But Marvin has already begun to teach him the first difficult lesson: the bull has its own opinion about the fight. And Ellie Mae has begun to teach him a second lesson, older and harder: some soft hearts will not allow the fight to happen at all. The suit of lights remains a distant promise. The tablecloth is only a tablecloth. The bull is still named Marvin, and for the moment he is more pet than opponent. I cannot watch these scenes without feeling a private gratitude for the way the series allows the dream to remain gentle even as it collapses. No one is truly endangered, no one is truly mocked. There is only a young man learning one failed hold and one puzzled bovine stare at a time. That some callings are more complicated than they first appear. Sand and blood. Mr. Drysdale's matador matchmaking scheme for Ellie Mae. I have always been struck by the particular speed with which Mr. Drysdale can transform a financial headache into a matrimonial opportunity. The first time I watched him pacing the studio floor, furious over the budget of the bullfighting picture Sand and Blood, I remember recognizing the familiar gleam that enters his eyes once a new calculation begins. The matador is costing too much. The matador is not an American citizen. The matador, therefore, must be converted into a permanent resident by the simple mechanism of marriage, and the bride must be someone whose fortune will keep every dollar safely inside the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills. Ellie Mae Clampett is not merely a possible wife, she is a fiscal strategy. You call a joint savings account of $20 million nothing, he demands when Miss Hathaway objects that the pair have nothing in common. The line still makes me smile with its perfect transparency. In Mr. Drysdale's moral universe, compatibility is measured in shared deposits. Raymond Bailey plays the moment with the absolute conviction of a man who has never doubted that money is the most eloquent language of the heart. I cannot watch him without feeling a complicated affection. He is ridiculous, and he is also completely sincere within the limits of his own ledger. What still moves me after all these years is the way the proposal is received at the Clampett mansion. Mr. Drysdale arrives with the glad news that he has found a man for Ellie Mae. Granny's response is instantaneous and absolute: he's a bachelor, that's enough. The practicality of it still delights me. In Granny's world, a single man of marriageable age is already a solution, further details can be managed later. Jed is more cautious. As he always is when Ellie Mae's future is placed on the table, but even he cannot entirely resist the momentum of the idea, a matador. A movie. A man who in Mr. Drysdale's careful phrasing is nice-looking and walks on great good-looking feet. The description is so oddly specific that it has never lost its power to amuse me. The meeting itself between Ellie Mae and El Magnifico remains one of the series' quiet masterpieces of cultural collision. The matador appears in full costume, pink stockings, elaborate jacket, the traditional pigtail, and greets her with a cascade of formal poetic Spanish-flavored English. Qué hermosa es usted, infinitamente más linda de lo que me habían hecho creer. Ellie Mae looks at him with the calm, appraising gaze of a young woman who has spent her life around far more practical creatures and answers with a single perfect word, howdy. The gap between those two greetings still feels to me like an entire essay on the limits of translation. One voice offers courtly admiration. The other offers simple presence. Neither is wrong. They are simply speaking from different countries of the heart. I remember the first time El Magnifico's offer to dedicate the bull and cut off an ear for her reached me with unexpected force. He means it as the highest gallantry of his profession. Ellie Mae hears only the threat of unnecessary injury to the bull and apparently to the man himself. "Oh, don't do that, you only got two." The line is pure Donna Douglas practical kind and completely unimpressed by theatrical sacrifice. She is not moved by the romance of the corridor. She is moved by the thought of a living creature in pain. That single distinction organizes everything that follows. When the family discusses the match afterward, the comedy deepens into something almost philosophical. Granny is already planning the wedding supper: possums, crow gizzards, anything suitably high-flavored for a Spanish appetite. Jed tries to absorb the new information about bullfighting technique and comes away more confused than before. Jethro, still pursuing his own matador dreams in the background, listens with the intense concentration of a competitor studying a rival. And Ellie Mae herself remains politely non-committal, more concerned with the practical question of how one would ever wash and iron a suit of lights than with the glamour of the man inside it. The sequence at the filming of The Corridor brings every tension into the open. El Magnifico begins his cape work. The crowd of extras cheers. Ellie Mae watches with rising distress. In her eyes, the elegant passes look like deliberate teasing of an animal that cannot understand the game. "Why don't you throw away that old red overcoat? He's gonna get hurt." When no one intervenes, she intervenes herself. The physical comedy of her eventual confrontation with the matador, culminating in her throwing him, is played with the same clean, unapologetic strength she once used on Jethro. She does not care about the film. She does not care about the dedicated ear. She cares that a living thing is being used for spectacle, and she will not stand quietly by. What continues to move me is the complete consistency of Ellie Mae's moral vision. Whether the animal is named Marvin or is an anonymous fighting bull on a studio lot, her response is the same. Softness is not weakness in her, it is a form of clarity. Donna Douglas plays these moments without sentimentality and without hesitation. The result is a character who remains, even in the middle of the broadest comedy, quietly incorruptible. Mr. Drysdale's scheme, of course, does not survive contact with reality. The matador is not permanently secured. The joint fortune is not redirected. The film continues to threaten the budget, and yet the attempt itself remains one of the series' purest expressions of his character. He has seen a problem, money leaving the country, and a solution, Ellie Mae's hand. The fact that the two people involved might have their own opinions is a secondary consideration at best. I cannot watch the rise and collapse of the plan without feeling the series' gentle, persistent satire of a worldview that measures every human connection by its effect on a bank balance. As the matador is helped up and the filming falls into temporary chaos, I feel the same quiet mixture of amusement and protectiveness I always feel when Ellie Mae's soft heart collides with the larger ambitions around her. Mr. Drysdale has tried to write her into a financial story. El Magnifico has tried to write her into a romantic spectacle. Jethro has tried to write himself into the same spectacle from a different angle. And Ellie Mae, without ever raising her voice, has simply refused every script that requires an animal to suffer, or a woman to be impressed by pink stockings. The refusal is comic. The integrity beneath it is not. The suit of lights returns to the wardrobe. The ear remains uncut. The joint savings account remains a fantasy in Mr. Drysdale's ledger. And somewhere in the background Jethro is still studying the techniques he has not yet mastered, certain that fame and fortune and females are only a few correct passes away. The dream of sand and blood has been briefly expanded to include a Clampett wedding and just as quickly contracted again. I cannot watch the entire maneuver without gratitude for the way the series allows every scheme to reveal the people who invent it. Mr. Drysdale's heart is in his vault. Ellie Mae's heart is with the living creatures that cannot speak for themselves. The distance between those two locations has always seemed to me one of the quiet moral measurements the show keeps making without ever needing to announce that a measurement is taking place. Gypsies at the gate, curses, fortunes, and Mrs. Drysdale's desperate plan. I have always been struck by the particular speed with which Granny's world can tilt from ordinary domestic order into pure folkloric alarm. The first time I heard her cry gypsies and demand that the onions be hidden, I remember feeling an almost physical jolt of recognition. In that single word, an entire older universe rushes back into the Clampett Mansion stories told on dark porches, warnings passed down through generations. The deep rural certainty that some visitors arrive with more than ordinary intentions. Irene Ryan plays the panic with absolute conviction. There is no winking at the audience. For Granny, the danger is real, immediate, and measured in the possible loss of the boy she still calls her baby, even though he weighs 230 pounds. They always steal boy babies, she insists, and when Jed points out the impracticality of stealing Jethro, she is undeterred. The logic of folklore does not require practicality, it requires vigilance. I cannot watch her ordering the young ones upstairs to hide under the beds without feeling a complicated tenderness. The same fierce protective energy that once boiled potions and planned coming-out parties is now directed against an ancient half-remembered threat. She will not lose another child to the road. What still moves me after all these years is the quiet contrast between Granny's terror and Jed's steady courtesy. When Nada, queen of the Gypsies, and her son Yurko appear at the door, Jed meets them with the same open-handed politeness he offers every stranger. He does not believe in curses, he does not believe in baby stealing. He simply sees two people who have come to the house, and who are therefore entitled to a hearing. Buddy Ebsen's performance in these moments remains for me one of the moral anchors of the entire series. He will not be ruled by fear, but neither will he be rude in the name of skepticism. The fortune-telling sequence that follows is pure comic negotiation. Nada offers to read the future for $1. When that is refused, she drops the price to 50 cents. Jed, ever willing to be kind, offers the $1 anyway and then declines the actual reading. I believe I'd rather be surprised like everybody else. The line still makes me smile with its gentle wisdom. In a household that has already endured computer matchmaking and matador ambitions, Jed is quietly insisting on the right to meet the future without advance notice. Granny, of course, wants no part of any palm reading that might involve the loss of her rings or worse. Then comes the moment that changes the emotional weather of the house. Nada takes Granny's hand, studies it, and suddenly recoils. I see nothing. Nada can tell no more. The warning that follows is delivered with professional gravity. They must leave the place before it is too late. I have always felt that the scene walks a delicate line between comedy and something almost like pity. Nada is performing a service she has been paid to perform. Mrs. Drysdale has hired the Gypsies for $100 to frighten the Clampetts back to the hills. The curse is a product. And yet when Granny hears the words, the product becomes real. The old stories rise up and claim her. I remember the first time I understood the full shape of Mrs. Drysdale's plan. The revelation arrives later in a quiet exchange of money and mutual satisfaction between Margaret and the Gypsies. She has been trying for 5 years to rid the neighborhood of that blight. The Gypsies are simply the latest instrument. The coldness of the calculation still lands with a small shock even after many viewings. Mrs. Drysdale is not theatrical in her dislike, she is practical. If fear will move the Clampetts when nothing else has, then fear will be purchased and deployed. The series allows her that ruthlessness without ever fully condemning her. She remains human, only human in a particularly narrow and protective way. What continues to move me is the speed with which Granny accepts the curse as fact. She begins packing. She speaks of doom written across her palm. She interprets every ordinary mark, the scar from cleaning catfish with a dull knife, as further evidence. Jed tries with his customary patience to talk her back into the ordinary world. You done that cleaning catfish with a dull knife. The correction is gentle and completely ineffective. Once the old knowledge has been activated, ordinary explanations lose their power. I cannot watch her gathering belongings and announcing the need to leave without feeling the weight of every earlier loss the character has endured. The hills are not merely home, they are the place where the stories still make sense. The Gypsies, of course, have now learned about the $60 million and the $15 million that sits in Granny's name. Their professional interest deepens. A simple scare has become a possible long-term opportunity. When they return to correct the earlier reading and lift the curse, the comedy shifts into a new register of mutual manipulation. Everyone is negotiating. Mrs. Drysdale wants the Clampetts gone. The Gypsies want a larger share of the fortune. Granny wants the doom removed so that she can remain. Jed wants only for the household to settle back into something like peace. I have always loved the small physical and verbal details of these scenes, the way Granny's voice climbs when she orders the doors barred, the way Jethro, who has been treated as a stealable infant, simply accepts the temporary role of hidden treasure, the way Nada's theatrical gestures coexist with a sharp commercial intelligence. Every element is played with the series' characteristic refusal to choose a single tone. The fear is real for Granny. The scheme is real for Mrs. Drysdale. The opportunity is real for the Gypsies. The comedy arises from the fact that all three realities are occupying the same front porch at the same time. The historical texture of mid-1960s attitudes toward Gypsies adds a quiet, sometimes uncomfortable layer. The old stereotypes, baby-stealing, fortune-telling curses, are present, yet the series handles them with a certain comic elasticity rather than pure malice. Nada and Yurko are not demonic. They are professionals working a job. That distinction does not erase the older prejudices the plot draws upon, but it does allow the characters themselves a measure of ordinary human complexity. I find myself returning to that complexity often. The show is not free of the attitudes of its time. It is, however, more interested in the collision of motives than in the simple confirmation of fears. As Granny's conviction hardens and the packing continues and the Gypsies recalculate their approach, I feel the same protective tenderness I always feel when the Clampetts are placed under a pressure they only half understand. Mrs. Drysdale has purchased a curse. The curse has taken root in the one person most prepared by history and temperament to believe it. And somewhere in the middle of the transaction, the fortune that was supposed to be protected has become the very thing attracting new complications. The mansion that was meant to be emptied is instead filling up with competing plans. The doom at the door is still only a story, but stories, as Granny knows better than anyone, can move people farther than facts sometimes manage. I cannot watch the fear take hold without gratitude for the way the series allows every character their own incomplete understanding. No one is fully in control. Everyone is improvising. And the ordinary work of living together, of calming the frightened, of questioning the convenient, of deciding whether to pack or to stay, goes on beneath the larger schemes like a steady, unbroken line.